Chapter 2056. Somewhere in the valley, Faye and baleful crow devilbird were diligently cleaning the surroundings of the valley. When they felt the immortal aura, their expressions changed. It's over. That Gaia seems to have become even more powerful. He has reached immortal. We won't be able to escape that evil human's clutches for the rest of our lives. Faye's face turned green. When it felt the aura, it shivered. This was a power it couldn't resist. It also realized that Gaia was that damned human's lackey. If even a lackey was so terrifying, how could it escape? Could it be that it could only be a shit-shoveling officer for the rest of its life? Shut up, baleful crow devilbird said in disdain. The stronger that Gaia is, the better. Think about it. If your subordinates are strong, won't the master be afraid? A weak ruler and a strong subordinate is not a good thing. If that Gaia wants to be the boss, the human will be out of luck. Maybe he'll be slapped to death by Gaia. Faye was overjoyed. Baleful crow devilbird, you're really smart. You even thought of this. Seems like we don't need to do anything. That damned human will be betrayed by his subordinates and killed on the spot. Maybe we'll be able to escape in the chaos. It was very excited. It thought of the day when it would be free and escape from that evil human's clutches. He, baleful crow devilbird, looked down on Faye's intelligence. It sneered in its heart. You can think of this with your intelligence? Are you kidding me? Look at who I am. But to be honest, it was also looking forward to this. It hoped that the damned human would rebel. It had enough of cleaning the valley every day and shoveling shit everywhere. If it wasn't because it couldn't find a way to escape from this place and was afraid of Tao Tai, it wouldn't do such a thing even if it was beaten to death. The many primordial descendants working hard in the medicine fields, such as the amethyst tiger, nine-headed lion, void butterfly, and golden ant, also sensed this aura, and their expressions changed greatly. My God, this is the immortal aura. Gaia has reached Saint Realm. Oh no, with undying Gaia guarding this place, we won't be able to escape. Shut up now. How dare you speak so loudly? If that hateful human hears you, we'll be doomed. Maybe we'll follow in the footsteps of the two unlucky Fae and dark, evil demon bird. Indeed, we can't speak loudly. The pitiful Fae and dark, baleful demonic bird are also considered archaic descendants. Who would have thought that they would be captured to become shit shovelers and even have to serve the Tao Tai of the archaic Vicious 10? Just thinking about it scares me to death. That's a Tao Tai we're talking about. There's nothing it doesn't eat. Accompanying a king is like accompanying a tiger. If you're not careful, I'm afraid you'll be eaten by a Tao Tai, and not even your bones will be left. I'm afraid that the Fae and the dark, baleful demonic bird have to work in that place every day and can't sleep well. Fortunately, we are not as unlucky as those two. Although we are working hard, we can eat and drink well every day. We even have 2 days off every week. I wonder how good our treatment is. I must not end up like the Fae and the dark fiend demonic bird. Otherwise, my life will be over. The many primordial species nodded in agreement. Although everyone was a slave, there were different levels of slaves. Obviously, the Fae and the dark fiend demonic bird belonged to the lowest level of slaves. Whoosh! At this time, Xiaoping's figure flashed and appeared beside Gaia and Dumbo. Brother. Dumbo glanced at Xiaoping and yawned. Then he lay on the bed and fell asleep again. Sleeping again. Xiaoping blinked his eyes. He found that Dumbo had just woken up, but it was just a nap. It didn't have any intention of waking up and was still fast asleep. However, he also found that Dumbo's aura was completely different from before. She had completely withdrawn all her aura and seemed to be able to perfectly control all her strength. Moreover, her strength was also increasing every moment. Although she seemed to be sleeping on the surface, she was in fact also cultivating. According to Corinne's introduction, after advancing to the immortal realm, Gaia would have a period where her strength would advance by leaps and bounds, and she would surpass the vast majority of sages at an extremely fast speed. This was also the envy of countless sages. Whoosh! With a thought, Xiaoping immediately entered the Gaia space. He found that he had arrived at a small universe. There were tens of thousands of planets, and hundreds of thousands of huge continents around him. The Gaia continent, Cloud continent, and so on were just one of the continents. In the depths of the space, there was a sun burning fiercely, emitting endless heat at all times, shining on every planet and every piece of land in this space. World origin. Xiaoping immediately knew that world origin was condensed in Dumbo's body. It was almost the same as the world origin he encountered before, but it was more powerful and full of vitality. Every ray of sunlight contained endless vitality. Amazing. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He also sensed that the universe law of the Gaia space seemed to have become more and more perfect. The space was also incomparably firm like a rock. This space also seemed to have turned into a huge space cage. Perhaps even if an immortal sage entered this place, as long as Dumbo was unwilling, he or she would not be able to leave this place. Interesting. If I capture some immortal sages, won't I be able to imprison them in the Gaia space? Xiaoping touched his chin, thinking about the feasibility of this matter. Of course, this space was not as simple as being extremely firm. At the same time, the entire space was also filled with rich universe origin energy. The world's yuan qi was more than 10,000 times that of the outside world. Cultivating in this space was simply twice the result with half the effort. Many Yin Huang planet humans, demons, and marine clans cultivated in the cloud realm. They also found that their cultivation speed was faster than before, and it was easier for them to break through. Obviously, when Dumbo advanced to the immortal realm, they also obtained great benefits and were cleansed by the universe origin. Incredible. Xiaoping closed his eyes. Through the mental connection with Gaia, his primordial spirit also integrated into this space. At this moment, he could observe the operation of this small universe from the perspective of a third party. It seemed that the many-universe law of this universe appeared in front of him. Although he could not perceive anything at the moment, he instinctively felt that this would be of great benefit to him in the future. Seeing the appearance of these law lines, he seemed to have a deeper understanding of various martial Tao divine abilities. Chapter 2057. A few days later, Xiaoping took the stars and returned to the southern universe again. He found the spatial coordinates of the Qingyang mystic realm and flew in. Boom! The stars easily entered a spatial tunnel outside the Qingyang mystic realm. At that moment, he felt a little emotional. When he first arrived at the Qingyang mystic realm, he was only at the golden core realm. However, a few years later, he was already at the mid-stage lightning tribulation realm, which was almost the peak of the mortal realm. He could even kill an immortal demon sage previously, so his strength was many times stronger than before. I wonder what the Qingyang city is like now. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. The so-called Qingyang city was a super city he left behind when he left the Qingyang mystic realm. In order to protect the humans in this mystic realm, he had also built 3 great arrays: the Abyssal Demonic Illusion Array, the Pure Yang Evil Vanquishing Array, and the Earth Black Tortoise Array. With these 3 arrays guarding the city, Golden Core Realm, Nether Ghosts, and Fiend Demons could not invade. He didn't know how the city had developed. Swoosh! The stars was extremely fast and entered the Qingyang mystic realm instantly. Soon, he arrived at the super city he had left behind in this mystic realm, Qingyang City. Seems like it's developing well. Xiaoping steered the stars and activated the invisibility system. He flew above the city, and no one could discover the existence of the stars. He looked down at the city below. The current Qingyang city was extremely prosperous. One satellite city after another was filled with people. Countless people were entering and exiting the city gates to carry out business activities. It was extremely lively. Compared to before, the population of the Qingyang city had increased by more than 100 times. There were still countless people migrating over from the plains in the distance with bags of luggage. They seemed to be on a pilgrimage to the Qingyang city, as if they had seen the sacred city of the human race. Groups of elite troops appeared around the city walls, all of them surging with blood energy that rushed into the heavens. They were in high spirits and surged with killing intent. They were clearly elite soldiers who had experienced iron and blood. The strength and number of these soldiers had increased by 10 times compared to the previous Qingyang city. The current Qingyang city was a real super city. Swoosh! At the thought of this, Xiaoping's figure flashed, and he put away the stars before landing in the Qingyang city. He wanted to know what had happened in the Qingyang city in the past few years. At this moment, there were countless people going in and out of the city gate. Many of them were dressed in rags and had unkempt hair and dirty faces. They looked like beggars, but when they saw the city gates of Green Sun City, all of them were filled with excitement and hope. Is this the legendary holy city of the human race, Qingyang City? It's too grand, too spectacular. It is said that this Qingyang city covers an area of tens of millions of square kilometers. The main city can accommodate 100 million people, and the other satellite cities can also accommodate tens of millions of people. It is extremely vast. It's fine if it's just the vastness of the city, but there aren't any nether ghosts in Qingyang City. Once a nether ghost appears in Qingyang City, it will immediately be annihilated by the array formation. It's said that the allied armies of nether ghosts and Yaoma demons have tried to break into Green Sun City many times, but it was to no avail. Instead, these nether ghosts and Yaoma demons were easily annihilated. This also caused Green Sun City to be known as the safest human city. It really is prosperous. It was not in vain that I abandoned the other cities and dragged my family to Green Sun City. If I can survive here, I won't have to worry about being killed by dark ghosts and Yaoma. Everyone discussed animatedly. They were all extremely excited. Some people spent months or even a year on a long journey, experiencing countless difficulties and obstacles along the way before finally arriving at Qingyang City. It could be said that Qingyang City's reputation had spread throughout the Qingyang mystery dimension. Even in extremely remote places, there were people who had heard of this holy city of the human race. It had already become synonymous with the hope of the human race in the Qingyang mystery dimension. It seems that Deputy City Lord Gubo has done a good job. Xiaoping walked the streets and alleys of Qingyang City. This place was full of life. There were people everywhere rubbing shoulders. It cannot be compared to the desolate Qingyang City from before. However, I wonder if he helped me find the secret passageway to the Hell Realm. Thinking of this, he did not want to continue wandering around. With a flash, he immediately headed for the City Lord residence. As soon as he entered the City Lord residence, Xiaoping immediately sensed that there were many people gathered in the hall. They seemed to be the upper echelons of Qingyang City, as well as the top generals. Even Deputy City Lord Gubo was here. Their expressions were very solemn, as if they were discussing something important. Xiaoping did not plan on alerting them. Instead, he hid among them, wanting to know what had happened. There is an important piece of news that I need to tell you in advance. At this moment, Deputy City Lord Gubo swept his gaze across the crowd. His expression was solemn as he said in a low voice, "As everyone knows, there are several huge passageways in this world that connect to the Hell Realm. Dark ghosts and fiendish demons have all escaped from the Hell Realm. Because those passageways are very small, only some weak dark ghosts and fiendish demons have escaped. But it's different now. According to reliable information, the 9 spatial passageways have expanded once again. It is likely that even stronger dark ghosts and fiendish demons will soon enter this world." What? Hearing this, everyone was shocked, and their expressions changed drastically. Impossible. Those passageways have not changed for centuries. Why did they suddenly expand? What happened? A general did not dare to believe the news. Because such a passageway alone could allow Golden Core Realm dark ghosts and fiendish demons to enter this world. They could kill until the humans of this world had nowhere to hide and could only be reduced to food. If the 9 spatial passageways expanded again, allowing even stronger dark ghosts and fiendish demons to enter, would there still be hope for this world? The human race would probably be wiped out in an instant. I don't know. In any case, it has indeed expanded. This is the information our intelligence personnel sent back after risking their lives. Every day, powerful dark ghosts and fiendish demons enter through that place. Deputy City Lord Gubo clenched his fists. Everyone fell silent. Although they did not want to believe it, they had to. In truth, it was not as if the spatial passageways had never expanded before. At the beginning, the passageways had not been as large as they were now. It seemed that because of the constant attacks of the dark ghosts and fiendish demons, the 9 spatial passageways had gradually expanded, allowing countless powerful dark ghosts and fiendish demons to appear in this world. Then what do we do now? Wait for death. Many of the generals had bitter looks on their faces. They were already exhausted from just defending. If even stronger fiendish demons and dark ghosts invaded, it would truly be the end of the human race. Chapter 2058. No, I absolutely will not allow this to happen. How can we let those damned dark ghosts and demons destroy our home again? A general gritted his teeth. They had only had a few good years, and now those dark ghosts and demons wanted to destroy their home again. They wanted to destroy their final resting place, kill and eat all the people they valued. He absolutely would not allow something as absurd as this to happen again. How can it not happen? We're doomed. We can't stop it. A general despaired, feeling that the end of the human race had come. No matter what they did, it would be useless. They could only wait for death. Right. Where is the city lord? Where did the city lord go? If the city lord takes action, he might be able to stop those terrifying dark ghosts and demons, a general suddenly said. Many people were tempted. Many people were tempted. In fact, they had just joined the Qingyang city in the past few years, so they naturally knew about the mysterious city lord of the Qingyang city. It was precisely because of this mysterious city lord that he had established Green Sun City and set up 3 super formations that they could keep the demons and dark ghosts outside. Without the city lord's power, they would not have been able to establish this safe home. But from the time they had joined until now, they had never seen the mysterious city lord. They did not know where he had gone. That's right, the city lord seemed to have left behind a treasure for us to notify him. An elder of Green Sun City also recalled this matter. There really is such a treasure, Vice City Lord Gubo admitted. But in the past few years, we have not completed the mission the city lord left us, so I do not have the face to contact the city lord. He was very ashamed. The city lord had clearly only wanted them to complete a mission, but they had not been able to complete it. He did not have the face to contact the city lord. Vice City Lord, this is no longer a matter of face. If we do not notify the city lord, our Green Sun City will likely be finished, a general said. Oomph. At this time, a general in black armor snorted. Even if we notify the city lord, it won't be of much use. Right now, it is not a matter of one more or one less person. The dark ghosts and demons have all come out of their nest. Even if the city lord, who does not dare to show himself, appears, he will just have one more person sent to die. Chan Yongbua, what is the meaning of this? How dare you insult the city lord? A general shouted angrily, staring at the general in black armor. The other party was a general who had just joined Qingyang City a few years ago and had never seen City Lord Xiaoping before. Back then, Qingyang City's strength was too weak and its population was too small. There were many newcomers, and many of them were strong. Chang Yongbo was one of them. Over the past few years, the other party had made great contributions along the way, and his battle achievements were valiant, allowing him to wield quite a bit of power in Qingyang City. He was equivalent to one of the new nobles in Qingyang City, second only to Vice City Lord Gubo. To be honest, I have a weakness, and that is that I'm honest. Chang Yongbo sneered. No matter how powerful the city lord is, he is still just a human. How can he compare to terrifying monsters like dark ghosts and Yaoma? No matter how powerful he is, there is a limit. What we should do now is not to contact the city lord who doesn't dare to show his face, but to prepare for battle and fight against those nether ghosts and demons. We should not place our hopes on that illusory figure. Many of the generals glared at Chang Yongbua, wanted to tear him to shreds. But the other generals also stood behind Chang Yongbua, their killing intent surging. They were all Chang Yongbua's subordinates or people of the same faction. They stood on equal footing with the old men of Qingyang City, unwilling to be outdone. In the past few years, too many people from all walks of life had come to Qingyang City, especially the top experts from other cities. All of them were powerful, unruly, ambitious, and had all sorts of thoughts. If Gubo had not controlled the city's restrictive formations and possessed absolute martial power, they would have long since been unable to suppress this group of experts with their own strength. In truth, if Xiaoping had not arrived at Qingyang City, these generals of Qingyang City would have been minor characters who could not even make it to the stage. The other human experts would not have taken him seriously at all. Therefore, it was only natural that this group of new nobles wanted to compete with the old men of Qingyang City for power. They believed that the old men of Qingyang City were mediocre in strength and aptitude, but they held most of the power without doing anything. They had long been dissatisfied and wanted this group of old men to abdicate. This was because in this chaotic world, the strong were respected and the wise reigned supreme. Enough! Vice City Lord Gu Bo snorted coldly. If any of you dare insult the City Lord again, get out of Qingyang City immediately. We do not welcome any pests who disrespect the City Lord. The reason why Qingyang City is where it is today is all because of the City Lord's power. Without the City Lord, there would be no us. You have no right to criticize the City Lord. He exuded a murderous aura. Yes, Vice City Lord. Chang Yongbua and the others lowered their heads, not daring to be arrogant anymore. This was because Gu Bo controlled all of Qingyang City and had absolute power. A single order from him could immediately make their heads roll. Moreover, without the restrictive formations of Qingyang City, if they dared to go out into the wilderness, only death awaited them. They would definitely be eaten by the dark ghosts and demons, becoming their food. None of them dared to leave the protection of Qingyang City. Whoosh! At this moment, a figure appeared in front of the crowd and sat directly on the City Lord's seat, looking down at them from above. How dare you? Who are you? How dare you sit on the City Lord's throne? Chang Yongbua and the others were shocked and immediately became vigilant. This was the City Lord's mansion, which was heavily guarded. Even a fly could not enter, but there was still someone who could enter this place without a sound. They looked over and saw that the other party was an unfamiliar young man. Immediately, they were furious. Someone actually dared to sit on the City Lord's throne so brazenly. This was simply insolence, turning a blind eye to all the higher-ups of Qingyang City. But when Gu Bo and the others saw this young man, they were all overjoyed. They were simply wild with joy. City Lord, you finally returned. They stepped forward and bowed respectfully. The person in front of them was Xiaoping. City Lord, Chang Yongbua and the others were even more shocked. They could not believe that this mysterious young man in front of them was actually the legendary City Lord of Qingyang City. They simply could not believe it, but seeing the attitude of Gu Bo and the other elders, they had to believe that this young man was the master of the human race's sacred city. Gu Bo, you've done well. The construction of Qingyang City is not bad, and there hasn't been any big trouble. Chapter 2059. Thank you for your praise, City Lord. Hearing this, Gu Bo and the others immediately shed tears of gratitude, as if they had found their backbone. They were incomparably touched, and everything they had done was worth it. And you, Chang Yongbua, right? I heard your words just now, and you seem to be dissatisfied with me. Xiaoping glanced at Chang Yongbua and said casually, How about this? Since you're dissatisfied with me, then you don't have to take this position anymore. Return to being a commoner and live a good life in the future. What? Many of the generals were shocked. They did not expect this mysterious city lord to do such a thing as soon as he returned. He wanted to deprive Chang Yongbua of his position as a high-ranking general. Chang Yongbua's expression was very ugly, and he could not help but clench his fists with a bellyful of anger. However, before Chang Yongbua could speak, a loyal subordinate beside him jumped out and scolded. What bullsh T City Lord? You have been missing for several years. Do you know that you have not contributed to Qingyang City at all? The reason why Qingyang City could develop to this extent today is because of Commander Chang's contributions, and he often risked his life for it. But as soon as you returned, you want to deprive Commander Chang of his position and demote him to a commoner. This is too much. You can't distinguish right from wrong, and you can't distinguish right from wrong. What kind of city lord are you? Don't. As soon as the voice fell, Xiaoping casually glanced at the subordinate in green armor. With just a glance, the subordinate in green armor was sent flying. A tyrannical force bombarded his body, and in an instant his armor was blasted into a pile of scrap iron. With a puff, he could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. He slid across the ground for hundreds of meters, and dozens of bones in his body were broken. He was seriously injured on the spot, and his breathing was weak. Everyone was overwhelmed with shock because the other party had almost stopped breathing and directly died. You seem to have misunderstood something. As the city lord of Qingyang City, I am the ruler of this city. I do not need to discuss any decisions with you. Xiaoping said indifferently, there is only one thing you can do, and that is to obey. It doesn't matter if you don't obey, then you can die. This is the rule of Qingyang City, understand? Many of the newly promoted generals were filled with anger when they heard this. Dictatorship. This was simply a cruel and heartless super dictator. They had thought that the city lord of Qingyang City might be in existence like the human race's saint, but they didn't expect him to be a complete tyrant. Everyone, at this moment, Chang Yonghua angrily roared. It seems to me that this city lord has been possessed by a dark ghost. He isn't human at all. Now is the time to kill him and rid the world of evil. A trifling dark ghost wants to pretend to be a human and rule over the human race? That's a fool's dream. Everyone, attack together. Kill this damn dark ghost and take back Green Sun City. He instigated his subordinates, planning to attack together and kill this mysterious city lord. As long as this so-called city lord was dead, the entire Qingyang City would belong to them. Are you trying to rebel? Hearing this, Gu Bo and the others were both shocked and infuriated. They had never imagined that Chang Yonghua would dare to offend his superiors and try to kill the city lord. Just how audacious was this? This is not a rebellion, but the execution of a dark ghost. You've all mistaken him for someone else. This is no longer the original city lord of Qingyang City, but a puppet possessed by a dark ghost. You've all been blinded by the dark ghost and can't see the truth of the matter. But that doesn't matter. Once I kill this dark ghost pretending to be the city lord of Qingyang City, the truth of the matter will be revealed. Chang Yonghua sneered. Without another word, he immediately attacked. He didn't care if this mysterious city lord was possessed by a dark ghost or not. In any case, if this city lord didn't die, then all the forces he had painstakingly built up would be destroyed. Now, if the city lord didn't die, then he would. Boom! In the blink of an eye, a berserk aura surged out of his body. He pulled out a treasured saber and slashed at Xiaoping. A black saber light appeared in the air. This sort of attack power had reached the Golden Core realm. It could be said that Chang Yonghua's strength could be said to be the best in Qingyang City. Even the faceless ghost king of the past was no match for him. Gu Bo and the others were both shocked and angry. They had never imagined that Chang Yonghua would be so daring as to attack in the city lord's residence and attempt to kill the city lord. This was simply the ambition of a wolf. Truly foolish. Xiaoping shook his head. He sat motionlessly on his chair and only sighed. Dong! A terrifying sound wave came from the depths of the void. In the next second, before Chang Yonghua could even get within a few meters of Xiaoping, his entire body was reduced to a mass of meat paste. His black saber light was also shaken into a ball of yuan qi. This impossible. The many generals were so frightened that their legs trembled. They simply couldn't believe their eyes. Chang Yonghua was the #1 expert of Qingyang City, a powerhouse on the level of a ghost king. However, when facing this mysterious city lord, the other party didn't even need to make a move. With just a sigh, he was shaken to death. What kind of divine power was this? It was too terrifying. Was he still human? Interesting. There really is a dark ghost possessing him. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. His divine sense sensed a dark power coming from the depths of a mass of flesh on the ground. It was the evil aura that the dark ghost was emitting. Boom! Immediately, a dark and evil power quickly gathered, transforming into an enormous dark ghost. The temperature of the entire city lord's residence dropped by dozens of degrees, and the ground quickly froze. Dark ghost. Commander Chang Yonghua is actually a dark ghost. Everyone was shocked and retreated in fright. They had been scared out of their wits. They had never imagined that this loyal and courageous high-ranking general was actually an evil dark ghost. No wonder a human can reach the battle prowess of a golden core. So it's a dark ghost possessing him. But you were actually able to avoid the detection of my pure yang, evil punishing formation and never exposed yourself. It seems that your strength is not simple. Xiaoping was calm and composed. He could sense that this dark ghost was indeed not simple. Its strength had reached the peak of the returning truth realm. It was just a step away from the transcendence realm. If it was the Xiaoping of the past, he would have only been able to flee from this dark ghost. But the present was different. This dark ghost was just a minor character, not even an ant. But with this kind of strength, it was only natural that the dark ghost would be able to avoid the pure yang, evil, punishing formation. Foolish human, you have completely infuriated this king. I originally wanted to play with you foolish humans, but I didn't expect that you would destroy my human body. Tell me, how do you want to die? Do you want to be killed by 1,000 cuts, or do you want your soul to be devoured by me? The dark ghost cackled, its murderous aura surging. Noisy, Xiaoping didn't even look at it. He grabbed at the air. The dark ghost immediately let out a miserable scream. Its entire body shattered, turning into a mass of black mist. Chapter 2060. Gubo and the others glanced at each other, finding each other's shock. The dark ghost that had suddenly appeared just now was terrifying. Even the ghost king they had encountered before was nothing like it. When the dark ghost appeared, it gave off an icy aura that was enough to freeze their souls, making it impossible for them to move. Just now, they had all thought that they were dead for sure, that they would be slaughtered by this terrifying dark ghost. But before that terrifying dark ghost could do anything, the city lord had taken action. With a squeeze of the air, the terrifying dark ghost had exploded on the spot, turning into a ball of yuan qi. Just what kind of terrifying power was this? Gu Bo and the others had thought that they had touched the edge of the city lord's power, but now it seemed that the difference was too great. The city lord power was not something they could imagine. Of course, while that dark ghost had seemed very powerful on the surface and had a frightening aura, it might have been just a weak dark ghost, which was why the city lord had crushed it with a single blow. As expected of a dark ghost, the soul energy it possesses far surpasses that of human cultivators of the same level. It's at least 10 times more powerful, but it's still too weak. It's not even enough to fill the gaps between my teeth. Xiaoping was both excited and a bit regretful. He felt that the soul energy he had obtained from killing this dark ghost was too little. He didn't even know how much more he needed to unlock the reincarnation brush's seal. After all, to unlock the first seal, he had to devour the soul energy of 10 million peak tribulation lightning human cultivators. A mere returning reality realm dark ghost was too weak. Right, it shouldn't be the only dark ghost that has invaded Green Sun City. Perhaps there are other dark ghosts hiding in Green Sun City. Xiaoping's heart leapt, and a terrifying spiritual sense surged out of his body, covering the sky. In an instant, it enveloped all of Green Sun City, seeping into every corner of the void. No living creature could escape the corrosion of this mental power. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In that instant, the many dark ghosts hiding in Green Sun City sensed this terrifying threat. They could no longer hide and flew out in all directions. Immediately, 7 plumes of black smoke flew out of Green Sun City into the sky. Even the city lord's mansion had 3 plumes of black smoke escape from the 3 commanders, quickly fleeing. Damn it, we've been discovered by a human expert. What's going on? Aren't the humans of this world very weak? Why would a human expert of this level appear? Run. Hurry up and run. An expert of this level is not someone we can fight against. If we don't run, we'll die. Damn it. This was just a scouting mission. I didn't expect to encounter such a dangerous situation. Don't talk nonsense. If we're a step too late, we won't be able to escape. We can't fight against this human expert, or we'll definitely die. A total of 10 streaks of black smoke rushed into the sky, trying to tear apart the Great Formation. They were panicking, almost running for their lives. It was because they felt great danger, as if they could die at any moment. In the face of this absolute power, they were unable to resist and were like ants. Everyone in Qingyang City could feel the chilling aura emanating from the black smoke. It was as if the entire city would be frozen in an instant, and there was a chill that seeped into their souls. They all seemed to feel an instinctive fear, and they trembled. Holy shit, there are dark ghosts here. Gubo and the others were scared half to death. They saw the three commanders of the city, Lord's Mansion. They were all famous high-ranking generals who were peerlessly valiant and had killed countless enemies. These three commanders were even on bad terms with Chang Yongbua, often clashing with him. They had never expected that they would be on the same side as Chang Yongbua, possessed by dark ghosts. This place had been invaded by dark ghosts until it looked like a sieve. When some of the generals thought of how they had once been brothers with Chang Yongbua and the others, their faces turned green with fear. They had become brothers with dark ghosts, and they had almost been eaten alive. You want to run? Do you really think I don't exist? Xiaoping's expression was very calm. A terrifying energy spread out from his body, and all of Qingyang City seemed to come to a stop. Everything stopped. The wind stopped blowing. The water stopped flowing. The gravel on the ground stopped rolling. Everyone was dumbstruck, unable to move. Even their blood had stopped flowing. The 10 dark ghosts that had charged into the sky were also frozen in the air. They were terrified. They had never imagined that such a terrifying human expert would appear in this human city. They tried to flee, but in the face of this tyrannical power, there was nothing they could do. Human, damn human, how dare you kill us? My dark ghost army is about to arrive, and your human race will be destroyed. You'd best release us immediately. Otherwise, once the dark ghost army arrives, you'll all die without a corpse. Human, we dark ghosts aren't people that weak races like you can provoke. Immediately surrender is your only way out. If you don't surrender, you'll be exterminated. Your race will be exterminated. Your race will be exterminated. Do you understand? Do you know what you're doing? You're committing a grave mistake. Hurry up and release us. Kneel and surrender, or else all of Qingyang City will be buried with you. Buried with you. The dark ghosts all howled. Although their bodies couldn't move, they could communicate with their divine senses. They were threatening, trying to scare Xiaoping into releasing them and leaving. Xiaoping didn't say anything. He lightly clenched his hand, and with a boom, the 10 returning Truth Realm dark ghosts were instantly shattered, their souls pulverized. They exploded in the air like fireworks, unable to put up even the slightest bit of resistance. Whoosh, Xiaoping grabbed out with his hand, immediately devouring the soul energy left behind by the 10 dark ghosts, transforming it into soul crystals that he placed into the pearl of mountains and rivers. By now, all of Qingyang City had returned to its original state, and everyone had regained consciousness. They looked at each other, not knowing what had just happened. But the generals of the city Lord Estate had clearly seen what had just happened. They had seen 10 terrifying dark ghosts hiding in Qingyang City, each one extremely powerful. Any random nether ghost like this would be able to slaughter all the humans in an entire city. But such a nether ghost had been easily destroyed by this mysterious city lord. They immediately felt reverence towards Xiaoping. This was the absolute respect one had for an expert. This is the city lord of Qingyang City? He's too powerful. He killed dark ghosts like chickens. He's terrifying. Isn't that right? Those dark ghosts just now all surpassed the level of ordinary ghost kings, but the city lord easily crushed them. This kind of power is unimaginable. No wonder he was able to create a super city like Qingyang City. He's too powerful. Chapter 2061. What's going on? Xiaoping glanced at Gubo and the others. Previously, only Ghost King level Nether Ghosts appeared. Why are the Nether Ghosts even stronger than Ghost Kings? How did they appear? City Lord, it's because the spatial passageway to our world has expanded again. It can allow even more powerful Nether Ghosts and demons to enter, and it's still rapidly expanding. Gubo answered. When did this happen? Xiaoping asked. About a month ago. Gubo thought about it carefully and replied. A month? Xiaoping nodded. If this was the case, then it was no wonder that the people of Qingyang City had not died yet, and this phenomenon had only appeared after a month. In other words, these dark ghosts had not been in Qingyang City for a long time, at most a week or two. After all, the invasion of 10 returning Truth Realm Nether Ghosts was a bit terrifying. In any case, the 3 formations he had left behind could only deal with Golden Core Nether Ghosts. They could not deal with powerful returning Truth Realm Nether Ghosts. The reason these Nether Ghosts had not attacked and had chosen to hide was probably because they wanted to understand the strength of the humans in this world and did not want to alert the enemies so quickly. It had to be said that these Nether Ghosts had a considerable degree of intelligence. They would not underestimate any race just because they were strong. They were very skilled at planning before taking action. Once they understood all the information on this race, they would attack with their full strength. This way, they would be invincible. City Lord. At this point, Gu Bo said in a low voice, "We've also obtained some information. The Nether Ghosts and fiendish demons that escaped from the Hell World are gathering an army to destroy Green Sun City. We must make preparations in advance." His expression was very grave. Make preparations in advance? There is no need, because the Nether Ghosts and Demon Army have already arrived, Xiaoping said indifferently. Within the range of his divine sense, a large number of Nether Ghosts and demons were surging over from tens of millions of kilometers away. Their numbers had already surpassed 30 million. Of course, most of them were cannon fodder level Nether Ghosts and demons. But there were also thousands of Tribulation Lightning Realm cultivators, 100,000 Transcendence Realm cultivators, and 1,000,000 returning Truth Realm Nether Ghosts and demons. This was an invincible Hell Realm army. Fortunately, he had returned to Green Sun City in time. If he had been any later, not even dregs would have been left of the city. What? The demon army has arrived? It can't be, right? How could it be so fast? They were still in the midst of gathering just now? Humans need to assemble an army, but the fiendish beasts don't need to. They have the advantage in numbers and are not afraid of death. They just need to swarm and attack. There's no need to think about formations. Damn it, how could this be? They're coming so quickly. How are we supposed to block them? Many of the generals of Qingyang City had ugly expressions on their faces. They knew that they would have to face the army of the monster race and demon race sooner or later, but they did not expect it to come so soon. There's no need for you to prepare anything. I'll just go and destroy them all. His goal in coming here was to kill the dark ghosts and demons and obtain their soul energy. Since these demons wanted to come and die, he was happy to relax. There was no need to search for them himself. Whoosh! His figure flashed, and he immediately left the place. City Lord. Gu Bo and the others wanted to stop him, but before they could say anything, Xiaoping had already disappeared. They couldn't catch up at all. What do we do now? The City Lord actually wants to stop it by himself. This is really too reckless. That's right. The allied army of the monster race and the dark ghost race is no small matter. But the City Lord's strength is unfathomable. We can't catch up at all, nor can we stop them. Sigh, there's nothing we can do. We can only rely on the City Lord. The City Lord is so confident, so I'm sure he's confident. Gu Bo and the others discussed. Tens of millions of kilometers away, a vast army of monster race and demon race was approaching, their aura fierce. TSK. I've already said that there's no need to investigate anything. This is just a low-level human plane. We can just send an army to crush it. In the face of absolute power, any tricks are a joke. A peak tribulation, lightning-burning demon cackled, extremely arrogant. It was very dissatisfied with the dark ghost's arrangements. It felt that these dark ghosts were too cowardly. This was just a tiny human world, yet they still needed to gather an army. This was simply laughable. In reality, there was no need for so many monster race and demon race to act. Just it alone could kill this group of weak humans dozens of times over. Idiot. A peak tribulation lightning dark ghost sneered. What do you know? The humans once said that even a lion would do its best to catch a rabbit. In order to occupy this world, gathering information is the most important thing. On the surface, it looked like a low-level human plane. But Wyatt Impermanent's Ghost King and the other nether ghosts been annihilated. Some demons had said that nether ghosts at the Golden Core level could sweep through this plane dozens of times, but they had all died. This means that this plane isn't as simple as we think. It looked down on this burning demon's intelligence. Its entire body was covered in muscles, and even its brain was made of muscles. In reality, because it had underestimated the human race, it had suffered so many losses and lost so many dark ghosts, which was why it always acted so cautiously. Laughable, the burning demon said angrily. The burning devil said angrily, "They're just Golden Core realm dark ghosts. I can crush countless of them with one hand. So what if they can kill Golden Core realm dark ghosts? How can they compare to us? So what if this low-level plane is powerful? How can it stop our army of monster race and demon race? You dark ghosts think too much. That's why you keep missing opportunities." It didn't care about the humans of this plane at all. They were like bugs that it could easily crush with a single stomp. Summer bug are not worth mentioning. The dark ghost disdained to speak to the burning demon. "What? You dare to say Wenju's name in front of me? Do you think I'm uncultured? You fucking want to die?" The burning demon was infuriated. It felt like it had been greatly humiliated. Flames erupted from its body, seeming to burn everything within 1,000 kilometers as it began a massacre. Enough. A nearby oxhorn demon moved to stop the burning demon so that the two races wouldn't start fighting before they even reached the human city. The burning demon was very displeased, but it still listened to the oxhorn demon. After all, they couldn't start fighting in front of a powerful enemy. That would only benefit the humans. Dark Ghost, just what information do you have? Why are you so cautious? Don't lie to us. Are we allies? The oxhorn demon stared at the dark ghosts. It knew that these dark ghosts wouldn't be so cautious if they didn't have a reason. Kiki, oxhorn demon, you look very stupid, but your mind is sharper than anyone else's. We truly have discovered that there's something off about these humans. Chapter 2062. Oh, something's wrong? What's wrong? The oxhorn demon and the other demons stared at Dark Ghost, their hearts trembling. As expected, this cunning Dark Ghost had discovered something. Earlier, I sent some Dark Ghosts to infiltrate that mysterious Green Sun city. Supposedly, that is the holy city of this world's humans and the strongest human faction. As expected, we discovered some secrets, the Dark Ghost said gravely. Dark Ghost said, "First of all, the city is unimaginably large, and the construction speed is extremely fast. Such a large city was built in just a few months. This level of technology is not something a small human plane should have. Moreover, there are 3 powerful formations set up around the city. This kind of ceiling formation is unheard of in this plane. No human has ever known about it. It seems to have appeared out of thin air. Indeed, this is very strange. The technological development of a world should be orderly. Something illogical should not appear out of thin air. Your suspicions are very reasonable." The oxhorn demon nodded. It had fought many wars and conquered many planes, so it naturally knew many things. It had done a considerable amount of research into the history, culture, and technology of each world. Thus, we made a bold guess. A light flashed in the Dark Ghost's eyes. This low-level human plane might not just be connected to our infernal realm. It might even be connected to an even larger and more powerful human plane. Some humans have entered this low-level plane from this high-level plane and provided assistance to the humans of this world, which is why they were able to defeat the faceless Ghost King and the other demons. It voiced its guess. In truth, this was also the guess of the Dark Ghosts. So that's how it is. This plane might be connected to another high-level human world. This is very likely. The demons couldn't help but nod. They now understood why the Dark Ghosts were so cautious. The humans of this world were naturally not worth mentioning. But if humans from another high-level plane had entered this world and even provided assistance, then this matter was completely different. The nature of the matter had completely changed. Perhaps the humans of that high-level plane were extremely powerful, not any weaker than the factions from the infernal realm. If they didn't know anything and rushed in stupidly, they might fall into a trap and be completely killed by those despicable and cunning humans. That is why I gathered the army, gathered all the nether ghosts and demons, gathered all of our strength. Nether ghosts sneered. With this force, no matter how arrogant those so-called humans from the higher planes are, they won't be able to stop our allied forces. Furthermore, we might be able to seize this opportunity to capture those humans from the higher planes, torture them, and interrogate them about the passageway to that higher plane. Upon hearing that, the fiendish demons were all invigorated and their eyes lit up. To be honest, this lower plane world was too small, and there were very few humans. Even if they killed all of them, they wouldn't even be enough to fill the gaps between their teeth. However, if they discovered a higher plane, the human world would be a completely different story. That would truly be a huge cake that was more than enough for them to divide, and there would still be leftovers. Without a doubt, this was a huge opportunity. Conquering this lower plane world was just a stepping stone, a springboard to other worlds. Your considerations are correct. I truly was a little rash. The burning demon was completely convinced. Although it was rash, that didn't mean it was brainless. If the humans of this world had the support of the humans from the higher planes, then they might not have been able to win this battle. Since you know this, what's your plan? The ox demon asked. Don't worry, we've already made a plan, the nether ghost said proudly. We've already sent 10 nether ghosts to infiltrate Green Sun City, and a few of them have even possessed the bodies of their higher-ups. They've taken control of a significant portion of that human city's army. Once we arrive in front of the city, if anything goes wrong, those nether ghosts will immediately start a massacre inside the city, causing internal strife. Then we'll be able to attack from both the inside and the outside. It explained its plan, as expected of the nether ghost race. Their plans are truly flawless. The ox demon was very satisfied. If the nether ghosts had made this kind of plan, then they would definitely win this battle. There would be no surprises. Then let's go. Kill all those humans. I wanted to drink their blood for a long time. The demons grinned savagely, their killing intent boiling. Kiki, it's best if we don't kill all those humans. We should treat them like pigs and raise them for sustainable development. That way, we'll have enough humans to eat every day. The nether ghosts felt that they, a higher race, should be more elegant and should not engage in such indiscriminate slaughter. Farming was the only way out. Killing all the humans was too much of a pity. Boom! At this moment, the sky shook and the earth shook. The sun and moon dimmed, interrupting the fantasies of the nether ghosts and demons. What's going on? What happened? Enemy attack. The enemy is attacking. Who's so bold as to attack even our nether ghosts and the demon army? They don't want to live. Find them. Find the enemy immediately. I'm going to eat them alive and cut them into pieces. The nether ghosts and demons were shocked and looked up into the sky. Immediately, they saw that 8 stone steels had appeared in the sky at some point. These 8 stone steels were spread out in 8 different directions, surrounding all of them. Moreover, these 8 stone steels were not simple. They exuded an ancient, mysterious, and powerful aura. They were engraved with dense scriptures that seemed to contain powerful sealing and spatial power. Dong! Before they could understand what was going on, the 8 stone steels descended from the sky. They connected with each other, instantly forming a sealing formation that enveloped the sky and permeated it. In an instant, a huge energy barrier surrounded the dark ghosts and demons. It was like a huge cage had been formed. What? These nether ghosts and demons felt a chill in their hearts, feeling that something was wrong. They could clearly sense that there were scriptures flowing on the surface of these energy barriers, and they contained an extremely powerful sealing power that sealed off the void. Even though the nether ghosts were invisible and formless, they could not escape from this sealing formation. Chapter 2063. Whoosh! Just like that, Xiaoping appeared in front of the dark ghosts and demons. He stood in the air above the barrier and looked down at them, his face expressionless. A human has appeared. Damn fellow, was this trap set up by this human? How bold! He dares to block our dark ghost and demon army alone. Does he want to die? The dark ghosts and demons gnashed their teeth. They had just been discussing this matter and wanted to slaughter the humans. They hadn't expected a human to appear and block their path. They hadn't even started slaughtering the humans, but this human had dared to appear and block their demon army. This fellow's guts were truly boundless. You're quite bold to dare invade the human world. Since you've come, then don't run. Stay here for the rest of your lives, Xiaoping said coolly. He formed a seal with his hands, controlling the 8 stone steels in the air. They were the Mystic Moon Demon Sealing Steel and the Crimson Sun Demon Sealing Steel, medial quality sage artifacts specially used to seal demons from the abyss. Immediately, the power of the Mystic Moon and the power of the Crimson Sun rose into the air. It was like the sun and the moon were in harmony. Yin and Yang fused, forming the symbol of the Taiji symbol. It turned into a yin-yang fish that stretched across the air. A Taiji formation appeared in the air and pressed down. Charge out! The dark ghosts felt a chill in their hearts. They sensed that once the formation descended, they would die without a doubt. They would never be able to reincarnate. They could sense the power of a sage artifact within it. Immediately, they turned into dark ghosts. They were invisible, colorless, and odorless. They fled into the air, wanting to charge out of the barrier. Dong, dong, dong. But in the next second, they all crashed into the barrier. It was as if they had crashed into a steel wall. Clanging sounds rang out, and they saw stars. Impossible. What kind of barrier is this? It can actually block the power of our dark ghosts. The dark ghosts couldn't believe their eyes. With their dark ghost bodies, they could come and go as they pleased. There were few things in the world that could stop them. But now, they were blocked by the spirit formation space, and were simply unable to escape. But how could these dark ghosts know the power of the Mystic Moon Demon Sealing Tombstone and the Crimson Sun Demon Sealing Tombstone? They were mid-quality holy artifacts created by the bright sun rays and the radiant moon rays to restrain the abyss demons. Even strange demons like the heavenly demons could be trapped. Although the dark ghost was extremely powerful, it was only on par with the heavenly demons. It was practically impossible for it to escape the sealing array formed by the Scarlet Sun Demon Sealing Tombstone and the Mystic Moon Demon Sealing Tombstone. Unless these dark ghosts advanced to the Sage Realm, their strength would undergo a complete transformation. But this group of dark ghosts did not have an expert of this level. Get out of the way, dark ghost. Watch as demons tear it apart. The demons roared in anger. There were tens of thousands of them, and they formed one body, forming a cone-shaped demon aura. It was like a sharp blade that could cut through anything. Dong! They also charged viciously at the spirit formation, trying to tear it apart. But it was of no use. When they collided with the spirit formation, all the demonic aura was instantly dispersed. Many of the demons were sent flying by the terrifying force, and they all fell back. Some of the weaker abyss demons vomited blood, their organs severely injured. Damn it, how can it be so tough? It's even comparable to a spatial barrier. You must be joking. How can a human control such an artifact? What do we do now? Are we trapped? The group of demons gritted their teeth. They knew that they were in trouble now, and their hearts sank. Trapped by this sealing array, they would be unable to escape even if they grew wings. This is the human race's holy artifact. It has boundless power and is specially used to trap us demons. Some of the demons sensed that the 8 stone steels contained a demon sealing array. Clearly, it had been specially created by a saint-level expert to trap demons. Its expression was grave and unsightly. I already said that those humans are very treacherous. There must be humans from a high-level world who purposely threw out some weak humans to deceive our eyes and pretend to be weak, a dark ghost shouted. A dark ghost yelled, "You idiots won't listen to me. All of you want to charge through, but reality isn't that simple. I've suffered more than any of you have. Now, we've fallen into this shameless human's trap, and it's hard to say whether we'll live or die. You trash. If there's a next time, I definitely won't cooperate with you stupid demons. You're really harming others and yourself." It was so regretful that its intestines turned green. It knew that there was something fishy about this world, that people from a high-level human world might have appeared, and that there might be human experts hidden among them. It was very dangerous. But the combined strength of the demons and the Dark Ghost army had temporarily blinded its eyes, making it forget its vigilance. It thought that it could push its way through and easily exterminate these humans. In the end, it had fallen into the enemy's trap and was in a dilemma. It had underestimated the humans of this world. If it had known earlier, it would not have acted after gathering more information. Don't waste words. We've all fallen into a trap. If we keep fighting among ourselves, we're completely finished. Right now, we should work together to break this *T formation and eat those damned humans. The burning demon roared angrily, its killing intent boiling. You still want to cooperate? All of you can die. Expressionlessly, Xiaoping took out the third divine artifact, the Star Punishment Sword. He gripped the Star Punishment Sword and circulated the power of the stars in his body, guiding the energy of the stars in the sky and pouring it into the sword. Immediately, the sword slashed at the dark ghosts and demons. Rumble. Instantly, thousands of beams of starlight fell from the sky. Each beam contained a terrifying killing intent, enough to destroy stars and tear apart the void. The beams of starlight were like shooting stars. They looked incredibly beautiful, but they also exuded endless killing intent. Dong, dong, dong. In an instant, the countless demons on the ground did not even know what had happened. Their bodies were pierced by the beams of starlight, torn apart, and sliced into dozens of pieces. All of them were stunned. Before they died, their eyes were wide open, as if they didn't know how they had died, as if they couldn't believe that they had died so easily. It had to be known that they were demons born from hell. Their hands and feet were weapons, and their skin was armor. They were comparable to peerless spirit artifacts. Ordinary humans could not even think of cutting through their skin. But against these beams of starlight, they were all easily pierced through like brittle skin. Chapter 2064. Haha, foolish human, your so-called starlight is of no use against us dark ghosts. Although they had killed most of the demons, not many of the dark ghosts had been killed. Using their formless bodies, they had become incorporeal. The starlight passed through their bodies and struck elsewhere. The dark ghosts immediately grew smug. As expected, they were a race favored by the heavens. A weak race like the human race could not kill them. This was a natural counter to them. Human, you'd best release us now. Otherwise, if we find a flaw in this barrier, you're dead. Even your soul will be devoured by us. One of the dark ghosts roared angrily, threatening Xiaoping. All the dark ghosts unleashed their auras, and a sinister wind blew through the entire barrier. It was as if this place had turned into a boundless land of ghosts, pulling in all living creatures and devouring their souls. A bunch of idiots. Xiaoping shook his head. He took out another treasure from hell, the Hell Spear. His body immediately emanated a terrifying hell aura that filled the entire barrier. Fuck, this damned human has a treasure on him. He's gone too far. One of the dark ghosts turned green with fright. It had thought that this human would be impressive if he had 3 sage artifacts. It hadn't expected him to have a powerful treasure on him as well. No, that's not right. This isn't an ordinary treasure. It's the Hell Spear. It's the weapon of the legendary Hell Jailers. One of the dark ghosts shrieked. When they saw the Hell Spear in Xiaoping's hand, terror surged from the depths of their hearts. It was as if a distant memory had returned to them, and they began to tremble. What's going on? The Hell Spear? Didn't this weapon disappear long ago in ancient times? Why does it still exist in this world, and in the hands of this human? The dark ghosts were scared half to death. They had never imagined that this human would have such a weapon. This weapon was their greatest bane. Kill. Xiaoping didn't even look at it. He threw the Hell Spear down. With a thud, the Hell Spear stabbed into the ground, instantly causing the ground within a radius of several thousand kilometers to collapse. Dense cracks appeared everywhere, covering the ground like a spider web. When the Hell Spear stabbed into the ground, it seemed to sense the auras of the many dark ghosts. Countless characters of hell appeared on the spear, twisting like tadpoles. Buzz, In the next second, the hell's runes condensed into rays of dark light that shot out in all directions. They covered the sky and covered the earth, practically covering the entire spirit formation space. No, no, no. Spare me. Spare me. Spare my life. Spare my life. I'm willing to serve you as my master. No, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. The nether ghosts were horrified. They fled in every direction, but it was useless. They could not escape from the barrier, and the streaks of dark light were simply too fast. Dong, dong, dong. After a few breaths of time, all the nether ghosts had been completely annihilated regardless of their strengths. At this moment, all the nether ghosts and demons had been killed. Not a single one was spared. The Hell Spear is truly powerful. It seems like it really is the bane of nether ghosts and demons. Xiaoping could sense that this Hell Spear contained a powerful and mysterious energy that was specifically designed to suppress nether ghosts. Moreover, after killing all the demons and nether ghosts, it instantly absorbed their blood and the soul energy of the nether ghosts. It seemed to glow with red light, and its aura seemed to grow stronger bit by bit. Clearly, devouring the blood and souls of these demons and ghosts was greatly beneficial to the Hell Spear. Whoosh, Xiaoping made a grabbing motion, and a devouring power appeared in the depths of the void. It devoured all the soul energy left behind by the dead nether ghosts and demons and quickly condensed them into soul crystals. This is just a drop in the bucket. It looks like I'll have to enter the Hell Realm to obtain enough soul energy to unseal the reincarnation brush. Xiaoping rubbed his chin. He sighed at how little soul energy there was. In the past, he would have needed to find a temporary passageway to enter the Hell Realm. But now that he had reached the lightning tribulation realm, he no longer needed to do that. He could directly use the 9 existing spatial passageways to kill his way in. If any nether ghosts dared to stop him, he would kill them all. This was the change that came with growing stronger. He no longer needed to worry too much. But after entering the Hell Realm, I should first upgrade Green Sun City's defensive formations. Otherwise, if all these humans are killed when I return, it will be a bit troublesome. Xiaoping wanted to upgrade Green Sun City's 3 great restrictive formations. At the very least, they could resist Lightning Tribulation Realm nether ghosts. Previously, he had been too weak, and the formations he had set up could only resist Golden Core nether ghosts. But things are different now. The restrictive formations he had set up could completely resist nether ghosts and demons at the peak of the Lightning Tribulation Realm. Several days later, Xiaoping had finally finished upgrading Green Sun City's 3 great restrictive formations. First was the demonic Abyssal Illusion Array. He had upgraded it to an Abyssal Illusion Array. It had fused his true insight of illusions with it, and the power of illusions had been greatly improved. Even nether ghosts and demons at the peak of the Lightning Tribulation Realm would fall into a boundless illusion if they entered it. It was as if they had entered an abyssal world, unable to extricate themselves. Next was the Pure Yang Evil Punisher Array, which had been upgraded to the Golden Crow Evil Punisher Array. This array had been infused with the flames of the Golden Crow of Hell. Once it erupted, the flames of the Golden Crow of Hell would fill the entire city. Those demons that entered would immediately be burned to death and turned to ash. Moreover, the entire city was filled with a thick aura of pure yang. It was already impossible for those nether ghosts to take over the bodies of humans. Even the slightest bit of pure Yin energy would be ignited and burned to death. Finally, there was the Earth Black Tortoise Array. He had also upgraded this array formation. It absorbed the energy of the Earth dimension and formed the power of the ancient divine tortoise's shell. Even if the allied army of demons and nether ghosts attacked a few more times, it would be able to hold out for 3 months without being breached. After doing all this, Xiaoping left with a peace of mind. Is this the passageway to the Hell Realm? Xiaoping narrowed his eyes and once again headed for the mountain where the faceless Ghost King had been. A huge, dark spatial passageway had appeared at the top of the mountain. It seemed to be more than 10 times larger than before. From afar, it looked like a giant beast of darkness that could devour everything. When he had first seen this black hole, he had felt his heart palpitate and a sense of death. He absolutely could not enter it. At the same time, he had also sensed countless nether ghosts and demons bearing their fangs and claws in the depths of the hole. But it was different now. Although the aura that was emanating from this place was still very terrifying, it was no longer a threat to him. Whoosh. Chapter 2065. When Xiao Ping entered the spatial passageway, his divine senses immediately sensed that the surrounding space seemed to be distorted. It was like a worm that was constantly wriggling. From time to time, terrifying spatial cracks would appear. Once one fell into the spatial crack, even a sage would be torn to pieces. It was as though they would fall into an indescribable place where no living creature could survive. Moreover, the passageway seemed to be extremely fragile. If a strong aura disturbed the passageway, countless spatial cracks would immediately appear. If a sage wanted to pass through the passageway, it would probably cause the passageway to collapse immediately. The sage would be buried in the cracks and fall into an endless abyss. This spatial passageway didn't strengthen permanently, but temporarily. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He sensed that there were restrictive formations set up in this passage, temporarily reinforcing it so that it could allow Thunder Retribution Realm experts to pass through. It was no wonder that so many Thunder Tribulation Realm demons and dark ghosts had suddenly appeared in the Qingyang Mystery Dimension. It wasn't because the passageway had expanded. Instead, the demons had used other means to temporarily teleport the demons and dark ghosts over. However, once the time passed, the restrictive arrays would lose their power and the passageway would return to its original state. It could only accommodate Golden Core Realm demons. However, these demons who were the vanguard probably didn't expect that they would die in this place, never to return to the Hell World. They had originally thought that they were here to conquer this world and capture humans. In other words, if I destroy these restrictive arrays, high-level demons won't be able to enter the Qingyang Mystery Dimension from this passageway temporarily. Xiaoping rubbed his chin. However, this spatial passageway didn't recognize anyone. Although it could prevent high-level demons from entering the Qingyang Mystery Dimension, it could also prevent human cultivators above the returning nature realm from entering the Hell World. The two were interconnected and treated equally. However, he wasn't worried about that. He had the formless mask that could perfectly conceal his aura. It wouldn't leak out and destroy the spatial passageway. There's no hurry. Let's enter the Hell World first. Xiaoping wasn't in a hurry to destroy the restrictive arrays of the passageway. He had his own means. After all, even Thunder Tribulation Realm demons wouldn't be able to pose any threat to the humans in the Qingyang Mystery Dimension. On the contrary, such restrictive arrays would make it easier for him to enter. Swoosh! In a flash, he immediately traversed the spatial passageway. Before long, he reached the end of the spatial passageway. Is this the infernal realm? Xiaoping immediately left the spatial passageway and stepped on the ground. The ground was blood-colored soil, and he was surrounded by a boundless blood-colored plain. It was extremely desolate, and there seemed to be no weeds growing in it. The entire sky was shrouded in dark clouds, and Devil Chi was tumbling. Only a faint blood-red light shone out from the clouds. Some places were not shrouded by the light, and it was so dark that one could not even see their own fingers. At the same time, the air was filled with death, evil, darkness, and other energies. It was like a land of death. If ordinary people entered this world, their life force would slowly weaken. This was not a place where living beings could stay for long. But for Xiaoping, he felt as if he had returned home. All the cells in his body were boiling, and his blood was boiling, greedily devouring the smell of sulfur in the air. Wave after wave of energy that belonged to hell surged into his body. The cells of the golden crow of hell seemed to be stimulated, awakening one after another. The power in his body was growing bit by bit. Just then, a voice rang out. "Ha ha, brother, you've returned from that lowly human world so quickly. Did you capture any humans?" Xiaoping looked in the direction of the voice and immediately saw a group of demons running over. They seemed to have sensed the commotion in the spatial passageway. These demons were probably the guards left behind in the spatial passageway. They were responsible for guarding this place. No, that's not right. This is a human. Some of the demons saw Xiaoping and sensed his aura. Their expressions changed drastically. How is this possible? A human actually entered our infernal realm. He must have a death wish. What's going on? Why is this human in this place? Was he captured and brought here? But there are no demons or dark ghosts around him. Could it be that he accidentally came in? But that's not right. There should be demons guarding the other side of the passageway. This human can't possibly pass through the defenses there. No matter what's going on, we just have to capture him and interrogate him. So, this is the legendary human. This is the first time I've seen one. I really want to taste what a human tastes like. It said that only nobles have the right to eat humans. This is a high-grade ingredient. Many demons looked at Xia Ping mockingly like wolves and tigers, as though they were looking at their prey. True dispelling illusion technique. Xia Ping looked over. With a boom, a huge illusion barrier enveloped a radius of 10 million kilometers, trapping all the demons and causing them to fall into an illusion. These demons were weak. The strongest was only at the Dharma characteristic realm. Most of them were only at the Golden Core realm. After all, most of the elites had entered the Qingyang mystic realm through the spatial passageway. Those left behind were the remnants. Immediately, all the demons from Infernal Realm were dumbfounded as they fell into the illusion. They felt as though they had suddenly appeared in another place while the human in front of them had disappeared. I want to ask about the situation in Infernal Realm. Xiaoping rubbed his chin. As the saying went, know yourself and know your enemy. Only then could you emerge victorious. He first wanted to ask these demons about the situation in Infernal Realm. He wanted to understand the situation before making his next move. Facing his interrogation, the demons in the illusion completely treated Xiaoping as their leader and were extremely respectful. What is this place? Xiaoping asked. Lord, this is the Flaming Hell's rock territory. A fiendish demon replied. Flaming Hell? What does that mean? Are there many hells? Xiaoping squinted his eyes. Of course. The demon said matter-of-factly, the fiery hell is just a low-level hell world. There are billions of small planes like the fiery hell, as numerous as the sands of the universe. The rock territory is ruled by the great rock overlord. There are billions of demons here. There are only 9 great overlords like the rock overlord in the entire flaming hell. According to the demon's introduction, the so-called overlord was the master of a region. It was like a kingdom. Every overlord was at least at the immortal realm. They were like sages. Moreover, there were 9 such overlords in flaming hell. There's such a thing. Xiaoping's eyes lit up. Flaming hell was only a small world in infernal realm. There were countless similar worlds, but there were 9 immortal sage-level overlords in such a small world. Chapter 2066. Xiaoping continued to ask. He also obtained a lot of useful information from this demon. For example, there were only 2 ways to go from fiery hell to other planes. The first was to use the spatial passage. It was said to be a remnant of the primordial era. It was the only spatial passage that connected to the outside world. However, this passage was jointly controlled by the 9 great lords. No one could use it easily. The second way was to leave fiery hell and enter the void to reach another plane. The problem was that hell monsoons blew everywhere in the depths of the void. This was one of the most terrifying natural disasters in fiery hell. Even sage-ranked demons would perish if they were hit by hell monsoons. Ordinary demons and dark ghosts were even worse. They would die for sure if they dared to enter the void. For example, although fiery hell had 9 lords, they did not have a good relationship with each other. They often fought over territory and resources. The demon troops under them also frequently engaged in battles to the death. Fighting was the nature of demons. Moreover, they could devour each other to grow stronger. This gave them even more reason to fight. If they could defeat another lord, that lord's strength would probably skyrocket and become a true overlord of fiery hell. Unfortunately, the 9 great lords kept each other busy. No one could do anything to the other. After all, after reaching immortal rank, even if there was a difference in fighting strength, it was difficult to kill the other. Only when one's strength reached a certain level could they do so. Interesting. Wars often break out. Hearing that, Xiaoping rubbed his chin. He had entered fiery hell to kill many demons and dark ghosts, devour their soul energy, and unseal the samsara brush. If fiery hell had been peaceful for a long time, it would not be easy. However, if wars broke out frequently, no one would know how many demons and dark ghosts died. Of course, if too many died, it would also attract the attention of the lords. That's right. I need to find a way to kill all these fiendish demons without alerting the territorial lords. Xiaoping narrowed his eyes. He looked at the fiendish demons around him and immediately thought of an idea. He could not travel in fiery hell with his human body. He had to transform into a demon and blend into this world. That way, other devils would not discover his identity. Also, if he used the identity of a demon, he could join any of the lords' camps. He could join the army and become a soldier, fighting against other demons legally. In war, he could also devour soul energy as much as he wanted. Other demons would not suspect anything. This was just an honorable behavior. He was not worried that he could not join any of the Lord's armies. In fiery hell, discipline was very lax. There was no such thing as a census. There was no such thing as a census. There was no such thing as a census. At the same time, wars often broke out in the infernal realm, resulting in countless deaths and injuries. As a result, they had a great desire for excellent soldiers. Simply put, they desired large numbers of cannon fodder. They would not refuse any demons or dark ghosts joining them. Rumble. Thinking of this, Xiaoping immediately activated the faceless mask and turned into a demon. He immediately turned into a burning demon. He was 5 meters tall and had a pair of wings on his back. The muscles all over his body seemed to be made of black rocks. Between every muscle and rock there was a flame burning, as if there was dark golden lava flowing, emitting a terrifying heat. Anyone could tell that this burning devil was not simple at all. There was terrifying power contained within him. In the infernal realm, keeping a low profile was not a virtue, but a flaw. Once they were weak, they would be eaten by other fiendish demons. They had to be able to bare their fangs at any time to threaten other fiendish demons. Not bad. Xiaoping was very satisfied. If he turned into a burning devil, no demon would be able to tell his identity. He could walk freely in the hell world, and he would not have to worry about being exposed. Right, head to Rock City and join the Rock Territory's army. He decided to join the Rock Lord. In any case, this place was the closest to him, so it would be the same to join any overlord. Rock City was a super city where the Rock Overlord resided. Countless demons lived in this city, and a large number of demons who desired to make a name for themselves would head to Rock City. Walala. However, before he left, Xiaoping also looted all the treasures on the fiendish demons. He took away all their space rings and all their wealth. In this hell world, the only currency was the dark stone. All the dark ghosts and fiendish demons could use it. After looting the space rings of the thousands of fiendish demons, he had obtained a total of 100,000 dark stones, as well as many other ores and materials that could only be found in the hell world. All right, let's go. After Xiaoping had looted the fiendish demons, he dusted his hands and left, satisfied. He had no intention of killing all the fiendish demons. After all, it was better not to have anything strange happen near this passageway. Otherwise, the Rock Overlord would definitely notice. There was no need to alert the enemy now. Boom! 10 minutes after Xiaoping left, the fiendish demon soldiers finally woke up one by one. Strange, where's the human? Where did that human go? Some of the fiendish demon soldiers felt a little confused. They had clearly seen a human appear in this world, but he had disappeared in the blink of an eye. It must have been a hallucination. It must have been a hallucination. This is the fiery hell. How could a puny human enter? Some of the fiendish demon soldiers thought it was a hallucination. The other fiendish demon soldiers nodded in agreement. If a human had really appeared, there was no way they would not have discovered him. It was also impossible for him to have disappeared for no reason. Moreover, the hell world was not a place that humans could enter. Once they entered, Their bodies would be corroded by the power of hell, and their vitality would be weakened. Wait, my space ring, my dark stone. Which son of AB *TCH stole my dark stone? Get out immediately. At this moment, another fiendish demon soldier let out a shrill cry. It was a heart-wrenching cry. Oh my god, my dark stone is gone too. Which Ned bastard is so wicked? That's the wealth that I've painstakingly accumulated over the years. My goal was to return to Rock City and have fun. It's gone. Not a single cent is left now. Catch him. Catch that thief immediately. Catch him and chop him into pieces. F***CK. He dares to steal from the army. That thief is really audacious. I definitely won't let him off. We have to find that *TCH thief, even if we have to dig 3 feet underground. We definitely can't let him get away. Many of the fiendish demon soldiers screamed at the top of their lungs in grief. The wealth that they had painstakingly accumulated over the years was gone in an instant. They cannot accept it at all. Chapter 2067. A day later in Rock City. Xiaoping finally arrived at Rock City after a long and arduous journey. It had to be said that although fiery hell was a small plane, its surface area was huge. It was equivalent to the surface area of 10 suns. For humans, it was vast and boundless, easily spanning hundreds of millions of kilometers. Fortunately, he had advanced to the lightning tribulation realm and could fly extremely fast. He also had the stars by his side. Otherwise, it would take him a few months to travel in this world. Along the way, he realized that infernal hell was really desolate. There were rocks, deserts, and mountains everywhere. Rivers and forests were very rare. Moreover, the colors were very monotonous. There were only blood red, black, gray, and so on. Green was relatively rare. The air was filled with the smell of sulfur, and there were scenes of volcanic eruptions everywhere. Of course, it was not that there were no plants. However, every plant had extremely tenacious vitality and posed a threat. They were like plant demons that were extremely lethal. To the demons in this world, every plant was a predator that could not be easily approached or provoked. This is Rock City. Xiaoping raised his head and looked at a huge city that had suddenly appeared in the distance. It was extremely majestic. The city walls spanned thousands of kilometers and were hundreds of meters tall. It was as majestic as a mountain. Along the way, there were also many demons from infernal hell, entering and exiting the city. The scene looked no different from an ordinary human world. The city walls seemed to be made of infernal hell's famous black demon rock. Not only was it extremely tough, but it also had the ability to devour the power of demons. If an ordinary fiendish demon's attack landed on such a rock, the impact would be weakened by at least 50%. Even an army of demons would find it extremely difficult to break through the city walls. There were also dense cracks on the city walls, and there seemed to be traces of blood. The place was filled with the aura of death, ferocity, and other things, making one shudder. It was like a wall of death. It was obvious that this city had experienced countless battles. Stop! Just as Xiaoping approached the city gates, a demon soldier at the side shouted and stopped Xiaoping. Burning demon, if you want to enter Rock City, you have to pay the entrance fee. Entrance fee? How much? It's my first time in the city, so I don't know the rules. Xiaoping touched his head and said with a simple and honest face. First time in the city? The fiendish demon soldier and the other soldiers looked at each other, as if they could see each other's treachery. It was as if they wanted to take the opportunity to extort money from this fiendish demon that knew nothing. It immediately said, I see, then you need to pay. Before it could finish speaking, Xiaoping took out a pile of underworld stones, which fell to the ground with a clatter. There were at least 1,000 underworld stones, and they immediately emitted dense underworld energy, causing the demons' hearts to tremble. Many fiendish demons who were queuing up to enter the city also looked over at the same time, their eyes filled with greed. As the saying goes, don't show off your wealth. Even in the human world with rules, showing off one's wealth would attract the attention of many criminals. Not to mention that this was the hellish world, where the law of the jungle was lawless and the strong preyed on the weak. This attracted the attention of many demons, and all of them were eyeing him covetously. Is this enough? Xia Ping said carelessly, not caring about the greedy eyes of these demons. Enough, enough, it's completely enough. The fiendish demon soldier's eyes were green. He had never seen so many underworld stones stacked together. 1,000 underworld stones was equivalent to his annual salary. He had only wanted to extort 10 underworld stones, but he didn't expect this blockhead to take out 1,000 underworld stones at once. This was simply a child of wealth. He had never seen such a stupid demon before. The fiendish demon soldier bee's eyes lit up. Burning demon, where did you get so many underworld stones? I picked them up. Xia Ping said honestly, I happened to encounter a group of fiendish demons fighting, and they all died. I took a large pile of underworld stones from them, as well as quite a few treasures. What a lucky bastard. The fiendish demon soldiers at the side were so jealous that their intestines turned green. Why didn't they encounter such a good thing? He had casually picked up so many underworld stones. He had basically become rich overnight. They couldn't earn so much even if they worked themselves to death. Demons were really infuriating. Moreover, this guy was so rich. He definitely had more than 1,000 underworld stones on him. Otherwise, how could he have paid so much to enter the city? How dare you, thief? At this moment, the fiendish demon soldier bee shouted, the dead fiendish demons you met earlier were the elite soldiers of our rock city. You actually dared to plunder their treasures. This is a violation of the rules of Rock City. Now, immediately, hand over all your treasures. Otherwise, we will arrest you and lock you up in the prison of Rock City. If you dare to resist, you could be killed on the spot. A strong, murderous aura emanated from his body. The other fiendish demon soldier's eyes flickered. They seemed to understand what their comrade was thinking. He wanted to take this opportunity to take all the treasures from this demon who had entered the city for the first time. Anyway, this guy didn't have any background. Even if they bullied this guy, no fiendish demons would stand up for him. The other fiendish demons in the queue shook their heads. This burning demon was a fool. He dared to expose his wealth in this dangerous hell world. Wasn't he courting death? Now that he had aroused the greed of these cruel soldiers, it would be hard for him not to die. Whoosh! Xia Ping waved his hand and collected the thousands of death stones on the ground. Burning demon, what are you trying to do? The fiendish demon soldier shouted. Seeing the thousands of death stones disappear, he panicked. I didn't expect it to be so troublesome to enter the city. I even have to pay so many death stones. Forget it, I won't enter the city. It's the same elsewhere. Xia Ping waved his hand and wanted to leave. Bullsh asterisk T. You've committed a crime and you still want to leave? Do you think Rock City is your home? You can come and go as you please. Stop immediately and surrender. Otherwise, we will kill you. A group of fiendish demon soldiers surrounded Xia Ping with murderous aura. They sealed off Xia Ping's escape routes. This guy had a huge amount of money on him. He was a walking treasure vault. Killing this guy would give them a huge amount of treasures. They would not let such a fat sheep leave just like that. Why do you want to kill me? You're saying that I've committed a crime? I didn't do anything wrong. Xia Ping said honestly. Shut up. If I say you've committed a crime, you've committed a crime. How dare you talk back? Go to hell. Chapter 2068. In an instant, 5 or 6 soldiers stabbed with spears at lightning speed. The sound of air being pierced was heard, as if they had pierced through the area. The surrounding demons shook their heads. They thought that the burning demon was dead for sure. There would be holes all over its body, and it would bleed profusely. Dong, dong, dong. At that moment, one spear after another bombarded Xia Ping's body. They were instantly shattered by a powerful force. It was as if they had bombarded an impenetrable wall. Instantly, the spears broke one by one and were turned into a pile of scrap metal. Impossible! The soldiers stared with their eyes wide open in disbelief. They thought that they could easily kill the burning demon by working together and then kill it. They didn't expect that they couldn't even break through its defense. What are you doing? Are you trying to tickle me? Xia Ping had a confused look on his face, as if he had no idea what the demon soldiers had just done. Bastard, you look down on demons. What's with that look? Our full power attack was only enough to tickle him. How much more does this bastard want to humiliate us before he stops? Damn you, big idiot. You think you can be so arrogant just because your defense is strong? I don't believe I can't kill you. Everyone, let's attack together. Set up a formation and stab it to death. Tear its body into pieces. Kill, kill, kill. I'm going to tear this bastard into a million pieces. The soldiers were enraged. They felt like they were being humiliated by the burning demon in front of them. The look in its eyes was clearly looking down on their strength. Their full power attack couldn't even break through the burning demon's defense. If this got out, how could they keep a foothold in Rock City? In the world of demons, strength was everything. If people thought that they weren't strong enough, they would be done for. They wouldn't be promoted or valued. The soldiers charged forward and used all kinds of techniques. Terrifying demonic energy exploded from their bodies, forming huge waves that crashed towards Xiaoping. It seemed like they were going to drown everything. Xiaoping waved his hand lightly, as if he was swatting a fly. He slapped the demonic energy. The soldiers didn't know what had happened. They were flying back at the same speed as they charged at him. At the same time, they screamed in pain. Bang! One by one, the demon soldiers were slapped onto the city walls like flies. Immediately, there was a loud sound, and their bodies were also shaken into meat paste, dying without a complete corpse. The originally solid city wall seemed to have slight cracks at this moment. Many of the fiendish demons at the side were dumbfounded. They had not expected such a thing to happen. With just a single palm strike, these elite soldiers were smashed to death. They were turned into meat paste and could not even struggle. I'm sorry, I didn't expect these soldiers to be so weak. They died with just a little pat. But they wanted to kill me, so I had no choice but to kill them. I patted them, so I guess I'm not guilty. Xiaoping scratched his head with an honest look on his face. Not guilty? Innocent my ass. How dare you kill my Rock City soldiers and kill a demon in front of everyone? You're dead meat. No one in the world can save you. One of the demon soldiers shrieked in anger. It had been a long time since something like this had happened. Soldiers had actually been killed on the spot by magical beasts in front of the city walls. This was an unprecedented, vicious incident. This was challenging the dignity of a Rock City overlord. This was unforgivable. More importantly, these soldiers could not even take down this damned, stupid burning demon. This was a huge humiliation that could not be tolerated. Enemy attack. Enemy attack. There are demons causing trouble at the city gates. A demon soldier at the side yelled and called for his friends. He even sounded the alarm, indicating that there were enemies trying to cause trouble in Rock City and kill a demon in front of everyone. Whoosh! In an instant, the entire city gates shook. Troops of elite demon soldiers flew in from all directions. They heard the alarm and surrounded the city without stopping. Damn it, this burning demon is in big trouble. He actually alerted the city guards. This burning demon is dead meat. Not good. Retreat, retreat immediately. If the city guard are mobilized, there will be nothing left. We can't stay at the side, or we will be implicated. We might even be treated as accomplices. The expressions of the surrounding demons changed. They did not dare to stay in front of the city gates and quickly fled in all directions. They did not want to enter the battlefield and be treated as accomplices of the burning demon. Then this would definitely be an undeserved disaster. What kind of demon is so daring to cause trouble at the city gates of Rock City? He's asking for death. In the distance, an 8-meter-tall horned bull demon wielded a giant axe and wore black armor. It charged over aggressively. It was a high-ranking general of Rock City and had a large troop behind him. After hearing the alarm, it rushed over immediately. Its eyes were wide open as it breathed out hot air. Reporting to Lord Commander, it is this burning devil. I suspect that it is a spy from another territory, so I took action to capture it and interrogate it. I never expected that it would resist so stubbornly, even going so far as to attack and kill several of our brothers. One of the demon soldiers immediately complained, Lord Commander, you must capture this evil thief and punish him harshly, so that the souls of our brothers in heaven can be comforted. Scoundrel, you dare to be so arrogant even though you're a spy? Your guts are boundless. Brothers, let's attack together and chop this burning devil to death. The oxhorn devil roared angrily. Wielding his giant axe, he charged forward. An axe shadow struck down from the sky. It was as if the ground was being split in half. It was extremely heavy and had a mountain-splitting aura. The other demon soldiers were also filled with murderous intent and were furious. No matter whether this burning demon was right or wrong, killing soldiers at the city gates was an unforgivable crime in Rock City. Rumble instantly, squads of soldiers moved out, wielding huge axes as they charged towards Xiaoping. Terrifying demonic energy formed a grand formation, crushing down on the space, sealing it. It was as if the space within 1,000 li was being crushed by this mysterious pressure. Dong! Xiaoping gently raised his hand and slapped his palm on top of the axe shadow. Just like the heavenly king holding up a pagoda, this giant axe was lifted up, supporting this piece of heaven and earth. The powerful force permeated his entire body, but it was instantly diverted by him to the ground beneath his feet. In an instant, a huge crater appeared in the ground around him, and countless cracks appeared in the surroundings. What? Chapter 2069. Walala, but before the oxhorn demon could recover from his shock, Xiaoping, who blocked the axe, immediately emitted a ball of flames that spread in all directions. With his body as the center, everything within 1,000 miles was instantly surrounded by a sea of flames. What's going on? What kind of flame is this? Damn it, retreat, retreat. This isn't an ordinary flame. We can't fight it head-on. No, we can't retreat. This damned flame can't be extinguished. Run. Hurry up and run. Save me. Save me. Come and save me. The demonic beast soldiers were initially ferocious, but a ball of flames covered the sky and earth. In an instant, the formation they had formed was torn apart, and all the demonic chi was burned to ashes. At the same time, the flames solidified. As if they had a life of their own, they pounced on the demon soldiers. Immediately, the group of fiendish demon soldiers let out shrill cries as their bodies were engulfed in flames. The terrifying flames quickly spread to their bodies and started to burn. In an instant, many fiend demon soldiers were burned to ashes. The ground was also surrounded by lava. Terrifying rivers of flames appeared and tore the ground apart. Occasionally, lava would erupt from the depths of the ground, and the temperature rose rapidly. My God, why is this burning demon so terrifying? What kind of flame is this? Why can't it be extinguished? Hurry up and retreat. Otherwise, if the flames touch us, we will definitely follow in the footsteps of those soldiers. This burning demon isn't simple. It must be a terrifying big demon. These soldiers have kicked an iron board. Many of the demons were scared half to death. They were glad that they had retreated in time. Otherwise, if they were in the middle of the battle, they would definitely die. Stop, damned burning demon. How dare you kill my Rock City soldiers? This is an unforgivable sin. I will definitely kill you and tear you to pieces. Tear you to pieces. Seeing this, the oxhorn demon's eyes were popping out of their sockets. He was so angry that he almost died. The soldiers were burned to death like weeds. They couldn't even struggle. His heart was bleeding, because these demon soldiers were his elite subordinates. They were his trusted subordinates. Now that they were burned to death by the burning demon, who knew how long it would take to make up for it, one could imagine how angry he was. Boom! As soon as it finished speaking, it held the giant axe in its hand and chopped down from the sky. Terrifying demonic energy gathered on the giant axe. A frightening black light came from the sky, as if it wanted to split the sky in half. This kind of aura was terrifying, shaking the ground to the point of cracking. Kacha kacha! It was as if even the air had frozen, turning the ground into a vacuum. Xiaoping lightly flicked his finger, and a stream of flames instantly shot out. The flames contained countless infernal golden crow runes, which were dark gold in color. It tore through the void, and its speed was so fast that even divine sense couldn't detect it. Dong! In the air, the cold black light was immediately shattered and easily pierced through the axe. Next, The horned ox devil's armor and its huge body were pierced through, leaving a huge hole in its chest. As the flames burned, the giant axe and the armor were quickly devoured by the flames. In just a few breaths of time, they were melted into molten iron that flowed onto the ground. No, impossible. I'm a demon general. How can I be killed by a small burning demon? This is impossible. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. The horned ox devil was shocked. Its body was still in the air, but when it looked down at its huge body, its chest had been pierced by a wisp of flame. There was a huge bloody hole, and even its heart was pierced. It felt its life force quickly disappearing. It didn't expect that it would be killed by a burning demon, and so easily at that. Bang! But no matter how unwilling it was, how angry it was, it couldn't avoid death. Its huge body fell from the sky, smashing a huge hole in the ground and stirring up a lot of dust. The horned ox devil fell to the ground, its eyes wide open. There seemed to be unwillingness, anger, doubt, and a bit of fear in them. It died with its eyes wide open. You actually killed Lord Horned Ox Devil. The remaining fiendish demon soldiers looked at Xia Ping in horror, as if they couldn't believe that the burning demon soldier before them was so powerful and daring. The few demon soldiers who wanted to extort money from Xia Ping were scared half to death. They couldn't stop trembling. They knew that they had kicked an iron plate this time. Is it dead? I'm so sorry. I didn't know it was so weak. If I had known, I would have been gentler. But shouldn't the demons in the city be very powerful? Why is it like this? It doesn't make sense at all. Xia Ping looked apologetic. It was his mistake. He didn't expect the horned ox devil to be so weak. It couldn't even take one attack from him, and was killed just like that. This bastard. The demon soldiers were trembling with anger. They wanted to punch the shameless burning demon in the face. These words were too humiliating to demons. What did he mean by he didn't expect it to be so weak and want to be gentler? How much did he look down on the demons of Rock City? As a demon, the most unbearable thing was to be seen as weak. It was the greatest insult. Being powerful was the only value of a demon. Burning demon, you've got guts. How dare you look down on the demons of Rock City? I can't pretend I didn't hear that. With a boom, a huge figure appeared in the air. It looked like a huge lion with wings on its back. It was covered in black fur, sharp claws, and fangs. As soon as it appeared, a terrifying demonic aura suppressed the entire place. Countless demons trembled in fear. The stones on the ground shook as if there was a magnitude 9 earthquake. Lord Commander, the demon soldiers were scared to death when they saw the demon. They all knelt on the ground to show their respect. The demon was the commander of Rock City, the Black Lion Demon. He was also one of the 9 commanders who led the demon soldiers of Rock City. He had the authority of millions of demons. With one command, countless demons would be beheaded. Of course, as a commander, the demons weren't afraid of his authority. More importantly, he was strong. He was at the peak of the tribulation lightning level. He was just one step away from the undying Lord level. Just this commander alone could easily slaughter all the demons here dozens of times. He wouldn't even have time to breathe. Chapter 2070. Lord Commander. Seeing the Black Lion Demon appear, the soldier from before immediately shouted, "This burning demon has committed murder in our Rock City. He has killed a large number of soldiers. Even the Bullhorn Demon was killed by him. He has committed a heinous crime. I hope that Lord Commander can punish this lawless villain." "That's right, Lord Commander. I hope that you can kill this demon and avenge your brothers." Soldier B also cried out, tears rolling down his face. "Shut up." The Black Lion Demon shouted angrily. "Do you think I don't know what just happened? If you hadn't been greedy and tried to take bribes, this wouldn't have happened. It's because of what you've done that you've caused so much trouble and caused the deaths of so many Rock City soldiers. All of you deserve to die and must be executed." It had long been able to see through the minutest details and see through everything. It knew what these soldiers were doing. Run. The expressions of the Fiend demon soldiers changed drastically when they sensed the terrifying killing intent from the Black Lion Demon. Without saying a word, they immediately fled in all directions in an attempt to escape. Ridiculous. The Black Lion Demon laughed coldly and slammed his claw down from the sky. With a loud bang, the soldiers let out blood-curdling screams. Their bodies exploded and turned into meat paste. A huge crater appeared on the ground. When the surrounding demons saw this scene, their hairs stood on their ends. As expected of the legendary demon leader who ruled over billions of peerless experts, those demon soldiers couldn't even withstand a single blow and were crushed to death with a single swipe of his claws. I was just cleaning up. I wanted to tell you that Rock City has its rules. If you do something wrong, you must die. No matter who you are, no matter who you are. The Black Lion Demon looked down at Xiaoping. Although this matter was caused by a few useless soldiers of our Rock City, your actions have also violated the rules of Rock City. You have killed our soldiers and even the Bullhorn Demon. You have committed an unforgivable crime. Don't blame me. Today you must die too. A terrifying killing intent emanated from his body. The entire sky was shrouded by dark clouds. Demonic chi filled the sky, and everything within millions of kilometers was shaking. The air was filled with an oppressive aura, making it hard for the fiendish demons to breathe. Black Lion Deathclaw. In the blink of an eye, the Black Lion Devil made its move. Its aura suddenly increased by several times as it swung its claws towards Xiaoping in midair. Immediately, a dark formation was formed. It gathered the demonic aura within thousands of kilometers and quickly turned into a giant dark claw. It was surrounded by dense demonic runes that were engraved on it like earthworms. The giant dark claw emitted a terrifying cold light. It was extremely sharp and indestructible. It even emitted the aura of darkness, death, nirvana, and other auras. It had infinite destructive power. Back then, it had relied on this claw to flatten a city and kill countless demons. It had the power to move mountains and fill up seas. Lion Death Claw. In the blink of an eye, the claw slammed into Xiaoping's body as if it was going to crush a planet. Of Bei Ming Protection Technique. Bei Lin Demon Yang Yang Commander. Xiao 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 of Lion Demon Black Dragon Commander. Xia Dragon Yang Lion King Technique Black Commander. When the claw landed on his body, it was as if it had landed on the surface of the sea. All of the attack power was swallowed up completely. The ground he was standing on was also affected by the aftershock of the power, instantly collapsing. A pile of dust flew into the air, surrounding a radius of several hundred miles, and yellow sand filled the sky. Foolish burning devil. You actually dared to come cause trouble, and you're so unlucky to meet me, the Black Lion Devil. Consider yourself unlucky. Originally, if I hadn't appeared, you might have had the chance to slaughter everyone. But now that chance is gone. Just like that, you shall perish in this world. The Black Lion Demon held his head high and puffed out his chest. His face was filled with pride, as if killing this little burning demon was just a small matter, as easy as blowing off dust. It even felt like it was making a mountain out of molehill. Killing a little burning demon made it use such a powerful god art. Wasn't this like killing a chicken with a butcher's knife? Many of the fiendish demons looked at the Black Lion Demon in admiration. As expected of the renowned Lord Commander, his strength was truly extraordinary and not just for show. Lord Commander, but that burning devil isn't dead yet. At this moment, a fiendish demon cautiously reminded. At this moment, the yellow sand disappeared, and Xiaoping was still standing on the ground. The land he was standing on was undamaged, and it was well protected. However, the nearby land had collapsed, and the land he was standing on seemed to have turned into a mountain. What? He wasn't dead? He really wasn't dead. He was even alive and well. The Black Lion Demon was so scared that his eyeballs almost popped out. He looked down and saw that the burning devil was still standing there unharmed. He seemed to be looking at him with a confused expression, as if he didn't know what had just happened. F***CK. What was wrong with this burning devil? He was forcefully hit by my Black Lion Death Claw, and he was completely fine. He looked confused. Was he still a demon? Or did my attack just miss and not hit this guy at all? However, as the leader of the fiendish demons, it couldn't possibly show any signs of shock. It maintained its calm demeanor and said, burning demon, it seems that you have some ability. You were actually able to block an attack that I used less than 10% of my strength. You can be proud of yourself and become famous in the fiery hell. 10% of his power. The fiendish demons were even more impressed. That terrifying attack just now was only 10% of their Lord Commander's power. If he used 100% of his power, wouldn't he go to heaven? Was this the power of a leader who led billions of fiendish demons? As expected, it wasn't something these little fiendish demons could imagine. Only 10% of his power? I see. That scared me to death. I thought a demon was playing a joke on me. After all, I didn't feel anything from that attack. My skin wasn't even broken. Xiaoping said honestly and reached out to touch his head. Hearing this, the black lion demon's face turned green with anger. Luckily, his face was black. Otherwise, if the fiendish demons found out, he would be in trouble. At this moment, he was so angry he had internal injuries. This damned burning devil was so arrogant. He even said that he used all his power just now to greet him. His skin wasn't even broken. If he didn't beat this burning devil half to death, he would lose all his face as the leader of Rock City. You sure talk big. The black lion demon was so angry that he laughed. I was just using a small trick just now. But it will be different now. When I use my full power, you will die miserably and cry rhythmically. Chapter 2071. Die. Sky Lion Hell King Fist. The black lion devil angrily roared. This time, it decided to use its most powerful divine ability. It wanted to kill this hateful burning devil in one strike. It definitely couldn't let it live past the second strike. Only then could it preserve its reputation as a commander. If he was killed by the second strike, it would be his failure. In an instant, he turned his claw into a fist and gathered all the energy in his body. Countless demon runes gathered in his fist, and the vague image of a Hell King appeared behind him. This power seemed to be connected to the source of hell, piercing through the dimensional space. Massive hellish energy surged out from the void like a tidal wave, forming a storm within 1,000 kilometers. Vaguely, the Hell King descended, emitting an unparalleled might. It was as if he was the ruler of the world, ruling over life and death. The powerful aura sent the surrounding demons flying for hundreds of kilometers. Hundreds of cracks also appeared on the ground, and with a cracking sound, soil flew everywhere. Retreat! Retreat! Many demons were scared half to death. They could feel the terror of this punch. It seemed to have gathered the essence of the black lion demon's life and connected to the source of hell. It could destroy everything. Just the shockwaves from the punch could kill a group of demons nearby. They could not afford to be in the center of the battle, or they would be implicated and suffer. When the aura was condensed to the extreme, the black lion demon made his move. He threw a punch towards Xiaoping, locking onto Xiaoping's chi and primordial spirit. There was no way for him to escape. A violent killing intent surged over. The color of the sky changed as mountains collapsed and seas roared. Whoosh! But at that instant, Xiaoping made his move. He took a step forward and punched out. With a tremble and an explosion, the power of the primordial sky dragon and the power of the divine elephant surged out from every cell in his body. Inch by inch, they spread out, causing the void to explode. At the same time, the terrifying power of the golden crow of hell was also transmitted and gathered at one point. The ground crumbled from the force of the punch, creating a huge crater with cracks on the ground. Dong! The two fists collided like two planets colliding. The surrounding aura clashed, forming an astral windstorm that tore through everything. Some of the nearby demons could not dodge in time and were sliced into dozens of pieces, dying without a complete corpse. But it was clear that Xiaoping's strength was superior. Like a spiral, he penetrated the black lion demon's Hell King fist and tore the void apart. Impossible! The black lion devil simply couldn't believe it. Few demons at the peak of the Thunder Calamity realm could match up to his full power punch, but this burning devil actually suppressed him in terms of power. It was incomparably powerful. It could feel that the fist force had turned into a spiral and was surging over. It spun continuously and strangled everything in its path. Bang! In the next second, it was caught off guard, and its body was immediately penetrated by the spiral fist force. A large amount of blood flew out, and with a crashing sound, it seemed to turn into a demonic rain, pouring down on the ground. Half of its wings had been smashed into minced meat. It was an incomparably miserable sight. If it wasn't for the Black Lion Devil's extremely strong physique and terrifying regenerative abilities, this kind of injury alone would have been enough to take its life. Xiao. But this was only the beginning. Xia Ping's figure flickered, his face expressionless as he arrived in front of the Black Lion Demon. Looking down from above, he punched out. "It's over, we're dead meat." The Black Lion Devil was scared out of his wits, and his face was ashen. He could sense how terrifying this fist was. It contained boundless killing intent and boundless fist energy. If it were to hit his body, it would immediately be obliterated. He felt like he was about to die. He was the commander of millions of subordinates, but now he was beaten to death by a rash young man. His life's wealth was gone, and he had married more than 10 concubines. He didn't even know who would benefit from it. "Brother, wait, please stop." The Black Lion Devil shouted, stopping Xia Ping's actions. "Wait? Why wait?" Hearing this, Xia Ping stopped and looked at the Black Lion Devil with a confused expression. As expected, this guy was a rash young man. Seeing that Xia Ping had stopped, the Black Lion Devil was overjoyed. He quickly calmed down and said, "It's like this. I said those words just to test your strength, brother." He secretly wiped his sweat. He had just narrowly escaped death, and it had given him quite a fright. "You want to test my strength? But why did you say that I killed the soldiers of Rock City, which is unforgivable and must die?" Xia Ping blinked his eyes. "Ahem, that's just a verbal trick. If I didn't say those words, how could I force you to use your full strength?" The Black Lion Devil never hesitated when he lied. And it's only a few soldiers who died. These soldiers are even lower than sand. So what if a few of them died? How can they compare to you, brother? Most importantly, this matter wasn't caused by you, brother. It was purely the fault of those few soldiers. Everything was their fault, so why would I blame you? With a few words, he pushed all the blame to the soldiers. In order to survive, even if it wasn't their fault, it had to be their fault. Dead people couldn't refute anyway. So that's how it is. But which of your words should I believe? Xia Ping looked at the Black Lion Devil. Immediately, the Black Lion Devil's heart tightened. Seeing Xia Ping's calm eyes, it seemed that if he gave a wrong explanation, Xia Ping would kill him on the spot. "If you don't believe me, I can bring you to meet the Lord. In fact, the reason why I tested you was to find a talent for the Lord." The Black Lion Devil quickly said, "With your strength, if you meet the Lord, you will definitely be appreciated by the Lord. Then, you will definitely be rich and powerful. It doesn't matter if I'm rich or not. I came from the mountains because I was invincible. I felt a little lonely, so I left the mountains and came to the city." Xia Ping said honestly, "I heard that there are many experts in the city, so I wanted to compete with them. In that case, joining our Rock City is the best choice. There are many experts in Rock City." The Black Lion Devil was overjoyed. He didn't expect the Burning Demon to have such a plan. It seemed that not only would he survive this time, he would also be able to recruit an extremely powerful expert. Most importantly, the Burning Demon looked easy to trick and control. If he could use the powerful Burning Demon ability, wouldn't he be able to do whatever he wanted in Rock City and suppress the other 8 leaders? From this point of view, what happened today might not be a bad thing. "Brother, after talking for so long, I still don't know your name?" the Black Lion Devil asked. "King Kong." Xia Ping randomly came up with a name. "All right, King Kong, come with me to Rock City to meet the Lord. I'm sure the Lord will be very happy to see an expert like you joining him." Chapter 2072. Rock City's Lord Mansion. Xia Ping followed the Black Lion Demon into the city Lord's Mansion. At this moment, the injuries on the Black Lion Demon's body were almost fully healed. That was because his regenerative powers were simply too strong. Coupled with the fact that he had consumed some healing pills, he recovered very quickly. The Lord's Mansion was also extremely majestic, covering an area of 1,000,000 acres. The buildings were all made of rocks, and each piece weighed several tons. The architectural style was primitive and rough, giving off a majestic feeling. It had to be said that although this was the hell world, the demons were also intelligent beings. They had their own unique understanding of architecture, giving off a different sense of beauty. As soon as he entered the Lord's mansion, Xiaoping immediately sensed an ocean-like pressure in the air. It enveloped the entire Lord's mansion, filling every inch of the air. The pressure was simply unfathomable and undefeatable, as if it was filled with an immortal aura. He felt that this aura was simply terrifying. Even the demon saint of curses he had encountered previously could not compare to this aura. It seemed like it could destroy countless planets and break through the ages in an instant. "Bard, what are you doing in the Lord's mansion?" At this moment, a voice came from the air. It was as dignified as hell, permeating every inch of space. The Black Lion Demon's name was Bard. Hearing this, the Black Lion Demon Bard immediately said respectfully, "Sir Overlord, when I went out earlier, I saw a burning demon expert at the city gate. He was extremely powerful, almost on par with me. He wished to join Sir Overlord, so I brought him into the Overlord's mansion and introduced him to Sir Overlord. He was very thick-skinned, describing the battle as evenly matched. Oh, he's actually on par with Bard. Seems like this burning demon is quite powerful. Come in, then." The Rock Lord's voice was heard again. "Yes, Lord." The Black Lion Demon Bard immediately led Xia Ping into the main hall of the Lord's mansion. There was a huge throne at the front of the hall, and a huge rock giant sat on it. Its entire body was made of black rocks, and it was filled with great power. The depths of its eyes were black, like dark vortexes that could devour all souls. Its body also contained unparalleled power, as if it was a titan that walked out of the myths. With its body as the center, the vitality within a radius of thousands of kilometers surged towards its body. It was as if it was the absolute overlord of this world, ruling over everything. One could imagine that if it punched, the entire space would probably be shattered. "This is the Rock Lord." Xiaoping squinted. He sensed the Rock Lord's aura and heaved a sigh of relief. The Rock Overlord was indeed powerful, far surpassing the killing cursed demon saint. Its power was simply boundless, and it was as if every rock on its body was condensed with profound hell runes, making it unfathomable. However, it was also at the immortal rank. Even though it surpassed the killing cursed demon sage, it didn't surpass it by much. It didn't reach the realm of an ancient sage. If the Rock Overlord reached the ancient sage stage, he would probably be the true overlord of the fiery hell instead of the 9 overlords fighting each other. If I can kill an immortal rank demon, won't I be able to obtain a vast amount of soul energy? Xiaoping's heart stirred. Perhaps he didn't need to kill tens of millions of Thunder Tribulation realm fiendish demons. If he directly killed a few immortal fiendish demons, he could obtain even more soul energy. Demon will demons, will not be. Demon, Lord will. Not only were they powerful and almost immortal, but they also had many subordinates around them, making it very difficult to approach them. However, this was indeed an idea, a plan. "This is the burning demon you recommended?" The Rock Overlord looked down from above, staring at Xiaoping. Its gaze fell down, penetrating through the void. Boom! Instantly, Xiaoping felt as though his entire body was being seen through. This gaze could see through every single cell in his body, probing his blood vessels and meridians. However, he was not worried that his identity would be seen through. The ability of a non-phase mask could simulate everything. Even a sage would not be able to see through his essence. Crackle, the Rock Overlord nodded. Not bad indeed. Its body contains extremely powerful fire energy. It has already reached the peak of tribulation lightning. It can indeed be compared to you, Bard. I didn't think I would have such an expert joining me, the Rock Overlord. Congratulations. It was very satisfied with Xiaoping's strength. To it, the stronger its subordinates were, the better. Speaking up to this point, it thought carefully. Although its strength is comparable to a commander-rank demon, It has just joined Rock City and has not made any contributions. If it hastily takes a high position, it will definitely cause dissatisfaction among the other demons. How about this? You will be the commander of the Vanguard Battalion. If you can make contributions in the war, I will immediately promote you to the 10th Commander. Vanguard Battalion. Black Lion Devilbard was shocked. He looked at Xia Ping pitifully. This army was equivalent to a cannon fodder army. They were the first to go into battle and the last to bring up the rear. The casualty rate was more than 80%. No commander wanted to be the commander of the Vanguard Battalion. Every time, the commander would die the fastest. Becoming the commander of the Vanguard Battalion would be considered as having half a foot in the River of Styx. Moreover, every member of the Vanguard Battalion was a fiendish demon who did not fear death. It was extremely difficult to tame these fiendish demons. They often did not listen to orders. If one offended them too much, these fiendish demons would even secretly attack them. In the past, the commander of the Vanguard Battalion had been tricked to death by his own subordinates. He had died without a complete corpse. It seemed that the Lord was still a little suspicious of this fiendish demon who had suddenly joined. He wanted to send this fiendish demon into the Vanguard Battalion to test whether it was sincere or harboring malicious intentions. It felt that it had already guessed the Rock Lord's intentions. However, as a loyal subordinate, it naturally would not foolishly say these things. No problem. As long as I can fight with the enemy, I don't care where I go. Xia Ping scratched his head and said honestly. To him, this was exactly what he wanted. If he wanted to obtain a large amount of soul energy, how could he not enter the battlefield? Becoming the Vanguard Battalion was an extremely good job. And that's good. You can leave now. Hearing this, the Rock Lord was very satisfied. It seemed that this burning demon could still be used. If he could pass the Vanguard Battalion's test, he might be able to be put in an important position in the future. It waved its hand and ordered them to leave. Yes, Lord. Chapter 2073. After leaving the Lord residence, the Black Lion Demon Bard said to Xia Ping, "Brother, I'll bring you here. Later, a soldier will personally bring you to take over the charge camp. The demons in the charge camp are a little unruly, so you have to be careful." He thought for a moment and decided to warn the burning demon first so that he could build some good karma with him in the future. It's fine. I know that. If they don't like it, I'll just beat them up. I used to win people over by virtue in the mountains. Xia Ping smiled honestly, indicating that he was used to such things. Win people over by virtue. The corner of the Black Lion Demon Bard's mouth twitched. He recalled how he was almost killed by the burning demon. Although this bastard looked honest, he was more ruthless than anyone else when he attacked. Perhaps he should be worried about the other demons in the charge camp. However, he did not say much. He ordered a demon soldier to bring Xia Ping to the charge camp. Under the guidance of the demon soldier, Xia Ping advanced. He turned left and right in Rock City and finally arrived at the northeast corner of Rock City. There were army camps built there. As he approached the army camps, Xia Ping immediately sensed that there were countless demons and ghosts in the camps. There was a huge number of them, and every one of them was an expert. The entire camp was filled with a terrifying demonic aura. The demonic aura was dense, and there were restrictive array formations between the army camps. It was an inescapable net with layers of restrictions. If any enemy dared to barge into the camp, they would be blasted to death immediately. Ha! 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 In the army camps, a large number of demon soldiers were training in unison and shouting at the same time. Their voices gathered into an earth-shattering, killing intent that formed a torrent that could destroy everything. Any divine will that dare to try to enter the army camps would be destroyed immediately and suffer a terrifying backlash. These demon soldiers are well-trained. Xia Ping narrowed his eyes. He felt that he might have underestimated these demons from hell. The demon soldiers he saw in the Qingyang Mystery Realm were like a swarm of bees. They had no discipline and were extremely loose. However, looking at it now, the demon soldiers heading to the Qingyang Mystery Realm were probably just trash and cannon fodder. They could not be considered the elites of fiery hell. The true elites of the infernal realm were still fighting against the other lords of the infernal realm. Before long, the fiendish demon soldier brought Xia Ping to the deepest part of the camp. It was the largest and most chaotic place in the camp. The fiendish demons in this barracks were not as well trained as the other barracks. All of them were lying on the ground, basking in the sun, or chatting at the side. However, the fiendish demons in this camp should not be underestimated. The demonic aura, killing intent, and baleful aura emanating from their bodies were more than 10 times stronger than those in the other camps. There was a trace of cruelty and madness in the depths of their pupils. Without a doubt, the fiendish demons in this military camp would be considered scoundrels, scum, scoundrels, hooligans, and robbers even in hell. The magical bee soldier leading the way seemed to be a little nervous and fearful when he entered the campsite. He looked around and was extremely vigilant. Even his calves were trembling a little. However, for the sake of the mission, he had to lead the way. What are the brats from the other camps doing in our vanguard battalion? Could it be that they want to fill the gaps between our teeth? A fiendish demon with shark teeth snickered. His teeth were extremely sharp and seemed to be able to cut through anything. They glowed with a cold light as he looked at the magical beast soldier covetously. Seeing this, the magical beast soldier immediately shouted, "By the orders of the Lord, the burning demon warrior is invincible and has become the new commander of Rock City's vanguard battalion." As soon as he said this, he was so scared that he peed his pants. He hurriedly ran away, not daring to stay in this ghostly place for even half a second. What? Commander of Vanguard Battalion? There's actually a fiendish demon that dares to be a commander in our camp? Which fiendish demon is so daring? Isn't it afraid of death? Who doesn't know that the death rate of the commander of our Vanguard Battalion is 100%? Ever since we were established, none of them have had a good ending. Kiki, interesting. I want to see what kind of superhuman abilities this burning demon has. I think he didn't come willingly. He was tricked by another fiendish demon. Even if he was tricked, he wouldn't have become the commander of our Vanguard Battalion without some ability. From the looks of it, this burning demon doesn't seem like much. Many of the Vanguard Battalion soldiers were discussing among themselves. The news of a new commander quickly spread throughout the entire camp, causing all the fiendish demons to become excited. Some of them had offended other nobles and were demoted to this place. Some of them were troublemakers from other camps. They were unruly, so they were thrown into the Vanguard Battalion to die. Or they had broken the laws of Rock City and were sentenced to death, so they were sent to the Vanguard Battalion to make up for their mistakes. In short, none of them were good. They were all extremely vicious. One by one, the fiendish demon stood up and looked at Xia Ping, who was standing alone in the same spot with interest. It was like a pack of hungry wolves looking at a helpless little sheep. "Commander." At this moment, a crimson snake demon walked out from the tall camp. It was 5 meters tall, with triangular eyes and vertical pupils. It had many compound eyes, and there seemed to be a strange and powerful energy in the depths of its eyes. Even the fiendish demons didn't dare to look at it directly. "I am Vice Commander Kaiga. It's an honor to meet you." The crimson snake demon cackled. Behind it were 5 or 6 powerful fiendish demons who had walked out from the camp. Clearly, they had all reached the peak of the lightning tribulation realm. All of them were unruly and looked at Xia Ping mockingly. When the other fiendish demons saw these fiendish demons, they all retreated, their eyes filled with respect. Clearly, even among the many fiendish demons, these fiendish demons were leaders. "It's an honor to meet me? Then how much of an honor is it?" Xia Ping scratched his head and grinned. "What?" The crimson snake demon was speechless. The words it wanted to say were swallowed back by Xia Ping's words. Didn't this guy know what it meant to be polite? He was not giving a way out. "Commander, you're very arrogant. You've just entered the Vanguard Battalion, and you still dare to speak to us with such an attitude." The crimson snake demon's expression turned cold as it glared at Xia Ping. "I'm the commander, the boss. Aren't I the most arrogant fiendish demon here? If I don't speak with such an attitude, what kind of attitude do I have? Isn't it natural to be arrogant?" Xia Ping blinked his eyes. "Haha, interesting. Commander, you're really interesting. This is the first time I've seen such an arrogant and fearless battalion commander. A snow tiger demon next to him laughed, but its expression soon turned cold. But the more arrogant a fiendish demon is, the faster they die. I'm afraid the previous commander doesn't even know how he died. Whoosh! Before it finished speaking, Xiaoping's figure flashed and appeared beside the snow tiger demon. He gave a light slap. Boom! The snow tiger demon didn't know what had happened. Its whole body was like a cannonball as it was slapped hard on the ground, instantly creating a huge pit. Chapter 2074. It wasn't just the snow tiger, fiendish demon. Even the villainous fiendish demons at the side were stunned because they knew how strong the snow tiger, fiendish demon was. Although it wasn't as strong as those commander-level fiendish demons, it wasn't too far off. But now a single palm had slapped the snow tiger demon to the ground and left it half dead. This strength was simply terrifying. Dong! Xiaoping stepped on the snow tiger demon's head, immobilizing it. Little tiger, did no one teach you any rules? When a battalion commander is speaking, subordinates shouldn't interrupt. The snow tiger demon was so angry that it almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Having its head stepped on and trampled on in front of everyone was a great humiliation. But when it felt the terrifying power above its head, it was so frightened that it didn't dare to move. It felt like its head would be crushed if it moved even the slightest bit. Although it looked incomparably brave, it wasn't stupid. It knew what it meant to weigh the pros and cons. Battalion commander, let's retreat. This is the assault camp, not a place where you can behave atrociously. At this moment, the scarlet snake demon made its move. It grabbed with its 5 fingers, and the endless demonic aura in the depths of the void quickly condensed, turning into many scarlet vipers. And within the tens of thousands of scarlet vipers, snake-shaped runes gathered, emitting a powerful talisman aura. It seemed to have absorbed the power of demons from the depths of hell. Whoosh, these scarlet vipers whizzed over, forming 1,000 snakes, 10,000 poisoned array that enveloped the void. All the demons were shocked when they saw this. This 1,000 snakes, 10,000 poisons array was the scarlet snake demon's specialty, passed down from the hellish world of the primordial era. It was rumored to be an unparalleled killing technique created by a snake demon overlord. Each snake-shaped talisman contained the souls of countless powerful demons, condensed into viper essence. In order to master this killing technique, every time the scarlet snake demon killed a powerful demon, it would extract their souls and refine them into the snake-shaped talisman. It could be said that the scarlet snake demon, who had cultivated for countless years, had killed countless powerful demons in its lifetime. It was uncountable, enough to stack up into a mountain. Therefore, one could imagine how terrifying the scarlet snake demon's ultimate killing technique was. It was as if it had gathered the power of countless enemies that had died in its hands over the years. Rumble, in an instant, the 1,000 snakes and 10,000 poisons array came crashing down from midair. Venomous snakes pressed down from the sky, hissing and spitting out their scarlet tongues, emitting boundless killing intent. Furthermore, every single one of the venomous snakes possessed extremely potent venom and ferocious power. Once bitten, even demons with strong vitality would not be able to withstand it. They would be poisoned to death on the spot, and even their souls would be corroded. If Xiaoping couldn't catch it, he would die immediately. Xiaoping stood where he was, not moving at all. He merely exhaled. Suddenly, heaven and earth trembled. It was as if a primordial heavenly dragon had let out a roar, tearing the heavens and earth apart. It blew out a terrifying spatial tempest, creating an innate astral wind. At the same time, a series of dragon roars rang out in the sky, containing a ferocious aura. Every second, 1 billion tremors would occur, and it was as if space itself was being shattered. Bang, bang, bang. The venomous snakes that were attacking from afar were instantly shattered. That 1,000 snakes and 10,000 poisons array also collapsed. The entire array's power was broken cleanly, and all the ferocious aura dissipated. Impossible, I don't believe it. A single breath was enough to break the 1,000 snakes and 10,000 poisons array that I've painstakingly cultivated for countless years. How is this possible? How could such a ridiculous thing happen? The Scarlet Snake Demon was simply going crazy. Xia Ping's breath was enough to break the ultimate killing art that it was so proud of, the killing art that it had cultivated for countless years. Its entire heart was crumbling. Originally, it thought that with this killing art, it would be able to stand at the top even among the many commander ranks. If it was lucky, it could even become a powerful demon on the level of an immortal rank lord. However, the killing art that it had painstakingly cultivated for so many years was actually shattered by a single breath from a burning demon. This was practically destroying its many years of hard work in an instant. If such a killing art was so weak, then what the hell was the point of cultivating it? There was no effect at all. So, Xiaoping didn't care about the Scarlet Snake Demon's shock and anger. He slammed his palm down from the sky, making it unavoidable. With a slap, the Scarlet Snake Demon didn't even know what was happening when its entire body was slammed onto the ground. Its internal organs were severely injured from the impact. At the same time, Xiaoping's large hand gently grabbed the Scarlet Snake Demon and placed it under his feet. He placed it beside the Snow Tiger Demon and sealed all the demon power in its body. Kaiga, stop! Let go of Lord Kaiga immediately. Let go of your stinky feet. Go to hell. In an instant, a few angry roars were heard. The 5 or 6 powerful demons that were originally standing at the back all took action. They sensed that the Scarlet Snake Demon was in danger and immediately attacked from all directions. It could be said that these 6 demons had all reached the Thunder Tribulation Realm late stage. Although they were still a distance away from the Black Lion Demon, their strength was still relatively terrifying. These experts attacked at the same time, sealing off all paths of retreat. Moreover, their coordination was flawless, as if they had formed a peerless array that gathered endless power. Even if the Black Lion Demon stayed in this place, he would be killed in an instant. The other demons of the assault camp shook their heads when they saw this. It seemed that this camp commander was the fastest to die in history. He was killed by other demons right after taking office. However, it didn't feel any pity because the assault camp was a death camp. Without strength, even if they offended their superiors and were killed by other demons, the Overlord wouldn't blame them. Bang, bang, bang. The 6 demons had ferocious and proud expressions because they realized that the burning demon in front of them was actually standing there foolishly, not even trying to dodge. Their powers bombarded Xiaoping at the same time. However, Xiaoping still didn't move and stood there. The power of the 6 demons seemed to have sunk into a swamp. It was as if the clouds were floating in the wind. This power had no effect on Xiaoping. Are you guys tickling me? Or did you guys not eat today? Xiaoping blinked and looked at the 6 demons curiously. Impossible. That's my full force attack, my full force attack. Even a commander-level demon would be seriously injured on the spot if they took this attack head-on. But you're completely unharmed. You're AF * King Burning Demon. What kind of demon are you? How can you be so strong? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Oh, how can a full force attack of us 6 demons be useless? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. What kind of monster are you? What kind of monster are you? Chapter 2075. Since you guys attacked me just now, it should be my turn now. Xiaoping looked at the 6 demons calmly. Run, run. In an instant, the 6 demons had goosebumps. The 6th sense of death spread throughout their bodies. It was as though their souls were being targeted by the god of the underworld, and their souls were about to fall into the sticks. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Without another word, they fled in all directions in fright. Burn! However, Xiaoping merely glanced at them and uttered 2 words calmly. Rumble, a ball of flame immediately emerged from his body. It seemed to be communicating with countless fire dimensions, and it burned in all directions, forming a boundless disaster. Bang, bang, bang. The 6 demons, including the Snow Tiger Demon and the Scarlet Demon on the ground, had their flames ignited in an instant. From the inside to the outside, from their souls to their bodies, they were burning up completely. The demons let out a series of shrill cries, and try to fight back to drag Xiaoping down with them. However, before they could do anything, the flames burned them to ashes. Whoosh! With a gust of wind, the demons were turned into ashes and disappeared from the space. The demon soldiers of the charge camp had goosebumps when they saw this. They could not help but gulp as they looked at the new camp commander in horror. The Scarlet Snake Demon was one of the 8 big thorns of the charge camp and was in charge of almost all the subordinates of the charge camp. Previously, the battalion commander had clashed with the Scarlet Snake Demon and the others, which was why he was secretly killed. However, this new camp commander had just taken office and had already killed all the 8 big thorns. He was extremely brutal. I'm sorry. I used a little more force just now and burned them to death. You guys don't have any objections, do you? If you have any, you can voice it out. I'm very democratic. Feel free to speak your mind. Xiaoping touched his head and said apologetically, No, we don't have any opinions. Those bastards tried to assassinate the battalion commandant, but they were killed in the end. It's all their fault. Many of the fiendish demons were scared out of their wits and shook their heads. Democracy? Democracy my ass. Just now, the Scarlet Snake Demon and the other demons had disobeyed and talked back. In the end, they were burned alive, and not even their bones were left. How would they dare to raise any objections? Were they afraid that they wouldn't die quickly enough? Anyway, the Scarlet Snake Demon and the others were long dead. Dead people could not speak, nor would they have any objections. All the dirty water could be poured on them. I don't like the name Assault Battalion. Let's call this unit Burning Legion from now on. After saying that, Xiaoping entered the camp. Yes, battalion commander. No, regiment commander. Many of the demons bowed their heads in submission. Since this burning demon had become the boss of the vanguard camp, they had to listen to everything he said. It was just a change of name. That was nothing. The news of killing the 8 fiendish demon leaders quickly spread throughout the entire army camp. Countless fiendish demons knew about it, especially the other 8 commanders of Rock City. At this moment, they also gathered together to discuss this matter. Interesting. Where did this burning demon come from? He actually killed Kaiga and the others as soon as he became the battalion commander of the vanguard camp. His strength is not simple, a black-haired demon commander said. He had known the Scarlet Snake Demon Kaiga for a long time. He naturally knew that the other party's strength was not to be underestimated, especially that killing secret technique. Thousand Snake's infinite poison array. Even with his strength, he still had to be cautious and did not dare to be careless. Otherwise, he would definitely die. However, the burning demon actually killed Kaiga as soon as he arrived at the vanguard camp. Moreover, he had a group of scoundrels with him. This was indeed a huge shock. He did not expect something like this to happen. Only a fierce dragon can cross the river. Another long-armed demon commander squinted his eyes. I heard that when he appeared in Rock City, he had a conflict with the Black Lion Demon Bard. He also beat Bard up badly. Half of his body was almost blasted away. He revealed some of the information he had obtained. What? Even Bard was not a match for this burning demon? Is he that strong? Some of the other demon commanders were shocked. If Kaiga had been defeated, then so be it. After all, no matter how strong Kaiga was, there was still a gap between him and these commanders. However, Bard was different. He was indeed one of the 9 great commanders of Rock City. His strength was not inferior to theirs. Kiki, could it be that our Rock City will have a 10th commander? A 3-eyed demon commander laughed cruelly. It might not be the 10 great commanders. It might be the 9 great commanders. However, one that might be kicked off. The black-haired demon sneered and looked at the other demon commanders. The other fiendish demons felt a chill in their hearts. Everyone was in danger, and this was not impossible. After all, there were enough commanders in Rock City. Moreover, in the world of the demons, the strong were respected. If one's strength was not enough, they might be kicked off and replaced by someone else. To be honest, every single one of them could be replaced. If that's the case, then we can't tolerate it. It's still far from being able to replace us. The long-armed demon sneered. It would be fine if the burning demon was weak. However, it just had to be strong. It might threaten their position and make them fall from grace. They had already tasted the taste of power. If they lost it, it would be worse than death. Recently, we discovered a dark stone mine in the Yellow Mountain Range. There are at least hundreds of millions of dark stones inside. This is a huge fortune, the three-eyed demon commander said. It's a pity that this news has been leaked. If the demons on the swamp overlord side find out, a war will probably break out in order to fight for this dark stone mine. He narrowed his eyes and revealed a cold glint. I see. Are we going to send the burning demon as cannon fodder? If it dies in the war and is surrounded and killed by the swamp overlord subordinates, then everything will be over. What a good plan to kill a demon with a borrowed knife. Some of the demon commanders immediately understood what the three-eyed demon commander meant. Kiki, I didn't say anything. It's just that the assault battalion is just cannon fodder, right? There's nothing wrong with that. The three-eyed demon commander laughed cruelly. That's right. This isn't considered killing a demon with a borrowed knife. It's just an ordinary military deployment. But this time, let's see how capable the burning demon is. Let's see how long it can last against the swamp overlord's army. How long can it last? I'm afraid it will become the next commander of the assault battalion to die. I heard that it changed the name of the assault battalion to the Burning Legion. What a joke. It actually changed its name to the Burning Legion? It really is an ambitious fellow. Looks like I have to kill it. Chapter 2076. One day later, in one of the campsites of the Burning Legion, Xiaoping occupied an independent space by himself. There were no demons around him. He sat cross-legged and devoured the death stones he had obtained from the demons. Whoosh! The huge death stones melted rapidly under the burning of the golden crow of hell flames in his body. They were transformed into majestic power of hell that surged into Xiaoping's limbs and bones. Instantly, the golden crow of hell bloodline in his body was replenished with a huge amount of energy. Every cell in his body was devouring the energy greedily. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. In the end, he had awakened 100,000 golden crow of hell cells. Phew! Xiaoping opened his eyes and took a deep breath. Although he had only awakened 100,000 golden crow of hell cells, the replenishment from the power of hell made the blood in his body surge with even more mysterious and profound information. The number of death stones is still too little. He clenched his fists. He had basically refined all the death stones he had obtained previously. Not a single one was left. Moreover, after refining 100,000 death stones, he had only awakened 100,000 golden crow of hell cells. This was too ridiculous. The effect of the death stones would have been better. However, this was nothing strange. The more he cultivated, the more difficult it was to awaken the golden crow of hell cells, and the more energy he needed. Therefore, he had to obtain more death stones in hell. If he could obtain 200 million death stones, he would be able to awaken 1 billion golden crow of hell cells immediately. By then, his strength would definitely improve by leaps and bounds. He would be much stronger than he was now. Seems like I have to find a way to obtain a large number of death stones. Xiaoping touched his chin. This time, he had entered hell not only to unseal the first layer of the reincarnation brush, but also to further evolve the golden crow of hell bloodline in his body. He had to admit that hell was indeed like his home. Cultivating here was twice as fast as in other places. It was extremely beneficial for awakening the golden crow of hell bloodline. Dong, dong, dong. At this moment, the entire campsite was filled with the sound of war drums. The rhythmic beating caused the surrounding air to vibrate. It seemed to have the effect of making one's blood boil. It was as if they had been injected with chicken blood. All the demons woke up immediately and gathered their murderous and battle intent. What's going on? Xiaoping opened his eyes and asked the demon soldiers outside. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A dozen or so fiendish demon soldiers immediately ran in and said, reporting to Captain, we discovered a nether stone mine in the Yellow Soil Mountain Range. It contains a large amount of nether stones. Unfortunately, the Swamp Lord's men also discovered it. That's why we're preparing for battle. Have the Ixia army and our Burning Legion move out together to take back this mine and fight against the Swamp Lord's forces. The so-called Yiksha army was one of the most powerful armies in Rock City. They were all members of the Yiksha race in the underworld. They were all extremely powerful and were assassins in the dark. Their leader was the leader of the Yiksha tribe, Yishur-san. Is there such a thing? Then what are you waiting for? Let's go. Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He really wanted to doze off, and this pillow just happened to be delivered to him. If he could seize this underworld stone mine and completely occupy all the underworld stones, then he would be able to awaken 1 billion infernal golden crow cells in one go, and his strength would increase by leaps and bounds. At that time, even without the reincarnation pen, he would be able to contend against an immortal lord. Crash, with a command, 100,000 Burning Legion members immediately gathered towards the center of the camp. At this moment, the Yiksha army had already gathered. They were well-trained and orderly. They wore black armor and held bronze pitchforks. Their bodies emitted an iron-blooded aura. Compared to the Burning Legion's disorganized and undisciplined army, the difference in strength was immediately obvious. Many Yiksha soldiers revealed contemptuous smiles. Clearly, they looked down on the Burning Legion as cannon fodder. After all, compared to the regular army, they were far inferior. At this moment, a 10-meter-tall Yiksha, wearing dark golden armor, walked out from the Yiksha army. It had a ferocious expression and emitted a terrifying fiendish aura. It was the Yiksha army's leader, Yishur-san. You're the newly appointed Charge Battalion's leader, Wu Wudi? Yishur-san looked down at Xiaoping. I've changed the name of Charge Battalion. It's now called Burning Legion. Xiaoping corrected the name of this legion. What *T Burning Legion? With all these fancy things, it's just a cannon fodder army. What name does it need? Laughed the Yiksha general at the side. No, you can't say that. Even if it's a dog, a pile of shit, or a pile of mud, sometimes they need to be named. Otherwise, how would others know that they're different things? The other Yiksha general laughed heartily. That's true. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to tell. Even trash has the right to be named. Many Yiksha soldiers chimed in and laughed heartily. These guys, many Burning Legion demons, squinted their eyes and revealed a dangerous glint. They seemed to be considering whether they should charge forward and fight to the death with the Yiksha army. However, they did not dare to act recklessly because of the Yiksha army's strength. Furthermore, they had experienced this kind of mockery too many times. They could not feel any ripples in their hearts. May I ask if we can set off? If we delay the war and violate military orders, will we be executed? Xiaoping smiled honestly, as if he did not know what these demons were talking about. Oomph. All the Yikshas snorted coldly. They felt a little stuffy as they punched the air. They had said so many things, but this Burning Legion demon did not understand a single word. It was like a beautiful woman taking off her clothes in front of a blind man. They had wasted their efforts. Set off now. However, all of you must obey military orders. If you dare to disobey, you will be executed on the spot. Even the Lord cannot stop you. Yiksha Army Commander Yi 13th looked at Xiaoping darkly. He had wanted to provoke this brat, and then use military orders to punish him. He wanted to kill the chicken to scare the monkey and give this guy a show of strength. He did not expect that this guy would not fall for it. After saying this, Yi 13th waved his hand and immediately gave the order. Boom! Immediately, some demons activated a restrictive formation in the army camp and opened up a wormhole. There was a twisting spatial passageway that extended to an unknown place. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The demons seemed to be very familiar with this method of movement. They all entered the wormhole and headed for the Yellow Soil Mountain Range. Chapter 2077. Yellow Soil Mountain Range. Xiaoping and the others passed through the wormhole and soon arrived at the other side, near the Yellow Soil Mountain Range. Towering mountain ranges appeared in front of them one after another. They were tens of thousands of feet tall, and the peaks could hardly be seen. Everywhere was made of yellow soil, and the wind was strong, whistling. It was extremely desolate. There were no plants, and the place was filled with a deathly silence and desolation. Damn it, the Swamp Overlord's troops are already here. Yi Shursin cursed. Xiaoping immediately looked over and saw that in front of the endless mountain range in the distance, there were restrictive arrays one after another. There was black mist everywhere, almost enveloping the entire mountain range and sealing every inch of space. The black mist churned, and there seemed to be countless demons and ghosts in its depths. They would roar from time to time, as if they were trying to intimidate powerful enemies. It was as if an incomparably terrifying giant beast was waiting there, waiting to devour someone. Ordinary demons had no idea what was in the depths of the black mist. Often, the unknown was the most terrifying thing. The Yiksha army and the other demons were hesitant to move forward. Of course, this did not include Xiaoping. Hell, Golden Crow eyes. Xiaoping immediately used his mystique. His gaze pierced through the void, through the black mist, and tore apart the restrictive arrays to see the scene in the depths of the black mist. There was an open space in front of the mountain range. At this moment, this open space seemed to have turned into a huge swamp. From time to time, bubbles would spit out, emitting an unpleasant stench. Once one fell into the swamp, not only would it be like falling into a swamp, but it also contained poison that even demons could not resist. Even the black mist was a special kind of poison. If ordinary demons breathed it for too long, their vitality would be weakened. Without a doubt, the Swamp Overlord's troops had temporarily transformed this place into an area suitable for them to fight in. Once the Yiksha army and the other demons entered, there would definitely be countless casualties. This is the Earth Fiend Swamp Array, a Yiksha general said in a low voice. It is a famous and peerless array of the Swamp Army. It can absorb the endless baleful aura of the Hell World and condense it into the Earth Fiend Swamp. Once you enter, you will immediately be trapped in the swamp, unable to escape. There will be countless casualties. The black mist is also filled with terrifying poisonous gas, so it is not easy to enter. It was very familiar with this formation because it had fought countless battles with the Swamp Legion, so it knew the tactics of both sides like the back of its hand. Oh no, I didn't expect these damned swamp demons to be so fast. It's only been a day, and they've already set up this Earth Terminus Swamp Grand Array, transforming this mountain range into a place suitable for the swamp demons to fight. Once we enter, we'll be fighting as outsiders. Even if we win, it'll be a Pyrrhic victory with countless casualties. Some of the Yiksha generals had ugly expressions on their faces. If the swamp troops hadn't set up this formation, they would still have had the strength to fight and even win. But now that the other side was already prepared, it would be very difficult for them to win. I see. At this time, Xiaoping opened his mouth and gave his own suggestion. It seems like we can't fight this war anymore. Let's pack up and go back. Go back. All the fiendish demons looked at Xiaoping with a strange expression. They had never tried something like this before. The battle had not even begun, and he was already retreating. Wasn't that equivalent to running away? Although they did have such thoughts in their hearts, none of them dared to say it out loud. To be honest, this burning demon was as timid as a mouse. To think that he was the commander of the Burning Corps. Why was he so arrogant before? Was it all an act? Now that they were on the battlefield, he was showing his true colors. Thinking of this, many Yiksha demons looked at Xiaoping with disdain. That's enough, burning demon. We haven't even fought and you're running away. You're a disgrace to our rock city. That's right. Even if the enemy is strong and has set up a grand array, we're not weak either. How do you know we can't win if we haven't fought? It's just a bunch of swamp demons. Killing them is like killing chickens. What a joke. Do you only know how to bully the weak and fear the strong? Don't you have any thoughts of facing difficulties head-on? A group of Yiksha generals berated Xiaoping. You make it sound better than singing. Why don't you be the vanguard and be the first to charge in and die? Xiaoping gave them a sidelong glance. He could see that these Yiksha demons were just putting on a brave front. What kind of look is that? What kind of look is that? Are you looking down on us for being cowards? A Yiksha was so angry that he jumped out. Be the King Vanguard. You guys are the vanguard. Do you know what your duty is? A Yiksha general flew into a rage out of humiliation. It seemed that Xiaoping had seen through his thoughts, and he started cursing. The other Yakshas also glared at Xiaoping. They were very angry. "All right, burning demon, cut the crap." The Yaksha army's commander, Yi San, waved his hand. "I order you to advance immediately and destroy the Swamp Army's Earth Fiend swamp array. Open a safe path for us. If you disobey, you'll be executed immediately." He was filled with killing intent as he forcefully gave the order. As the saying went, a higher-ranking official could crush a lower-ranking official. Yi San was clearly using his commander's position to bully Xiaoping. He was clearly sending him to his death, and he had no choice but to do so. Otherwise, he would be betraying Rock City and would be hunted down by the Rock Overlord. There would be no place for him to hide, even in the fiery hell. He looked at Xiaoping emotionlessly, his eyes flickering. It seemed that if Xiaoping wanted to disobey his orders, he would immediately kill him, gather the army, and beat this damned burning demon to death. In any case, he had long since disliked this burning demon. He wanted to get rid of this scourge as soon as possible. "Yes, Commander," Xiaoping sneered. This was exactly what he wanted. If the Yaksha army followed him, then it would be very difficult to carry out the next part of his plan. He wanted to defeat this swamp army in one fell swoop and plunder all the nether stones in this mine with lightning speed. If the Yaksha army was beside him, then it would be difficult. But if only the Burning Legion went, then he could do whatever he wanted. It would be difficult for these Yakshas to know what he did. "Then go." Yi San waved his hand. He didn't care about Xiaoping's attitude at all. In any case, he had the advantage now. This burning demon would die whether he went or not. He was already a dying demon, so what did he need to care about? Could it be that he couldn't allow a dying demon to make some noise? "Let's go. Kill those swamp demons and tear apart the array." Xiaoping also ordered the Burning Legion to charge into the Earth Fiend swamp array like a swarm of bees. Although many of the Burning Legion's demons were very unwilling, military orders had to be obeyed. There was no room for them to resist. 100,000 demons charged into the array aggressively. Chapter 2078. "Look, the demons from Rock City are charging in." A demon scout shouted a warning when he saw this. Laughable demons from Rock City. They clearly know that we have set up the Earth Ferocious swamp formation here, and the entire mountain range is our main battlefield. How dare they come here to die? A demon general sneered. They won't cry until they die. They're probably unwilling to give up and want to try and break our Earth Ferocious swamp formation. Otherwise, if they leave now, they won't be able to answer to the Lord. I know what they're thinking. I see. They're just hoping for luck. In that case, let's destroy this vanguard army and show them the strength of our swamp territory. These demons from Rock City are no match for us. Those demons have barged in. Activate the Earth Ferocious swamp formation and kill them all. The swamp demons roared and went about their duties, injecting their energy into the formation. Rumble instantly. The surrounding soil quickly liquefied and turned into a swamp. Black fog rolled, as though there were countless serpents writhing. The swamp kept bubbling and emitting poisonous gas. Oh no! The many demons from the Burning Legion charged into the Earth Ferocious swamp formation. Their expressions changed drastically. They immediately realized that the surrounding soil had turned into a huge swamp. Within a radius of a few thousand kilometers, there was liquid soil. Moreover, the soil seemed to have a life of its own. It turned into huge hands and produced a terrifying binding force that bound their limbs, making them unable to move. In fact, the more they struggled, the more terrifying the binding force became. In the swamp, no matter how much strength they had, it was useless. I told you, we can't charge into this Earth Ferocious swamp formation. Only death awaits us. Great, we are all going to die here. Some of the demons from the Burning Legion were in despair. Although it was normal for the demons of the Vanguard Army to die, and they were already prepared for it, they did not want to die so quickly and in such a dubious manner. Incinerate. Xiaoping stomped on the ground, and boundless flames surged from his body. That was the Hellfire Golden Crow fire. It seemed to be connected to the energy source of the fiery hell. With his body as the center, it immediately turned into a boundless sea of fire. Dong dong dong. In an instant, numerous flaming mountains rose from the ground, piercing through the swamp. Tens of thousands of them appeared. These volcanoes constantly spewed out dark golden lava, which flowed down and formed rivers of lava that almost ran through this boundless swamp. The fiendish demons that were hiding in the depths of the swamp, planning to launch a sneak attack, did not expect such a thing to happen. Caught off guard, they were instantly covered by the dark golden lava. Instantly, these demons could not withstand the power of the flames at all. Their entire bodies began to burn, and every cell in their bodies was scorched. This kind of pain was simply unbearable. At the same time, the surrounding black, poisonous mist sizzled under the burning of the flames. It was as if the flames were extinguishing it, quickly turning it into ashes, no longer existing. In an instant, tens of thousands of demons were burned to death. Crash. Circulating his qigong, Xia Ping devoured the soul energy in the air and refined it into soul crystals. As expected, war is the best way to obtain soul energy. He clenched his fists and felt that he had obtained soul crystals at an unprecedented speed. Damn burning fiend, you're seeking your own death. Kill it. Kill this burning fiend immediately. How dare it kill the soldiers of our swamp army? Destroy it. Tear it into 1,000 pieces. Many of the swamp demons were enraged. Originally, they thought that they would be torturing the demons from Rock City. Who would have thought that they would be the ones being tormented instead? This was practically an invasion, behaving atrociously in their territory. The audacity was boundless. Swamp heaven-devouring technique. The swamp demons roared, activating the formation. Instantly, the entire swamp underwent an earth-shattering transformation. The soil seemed to move as if it had a life of its own. Crash! The liquid soil seemed to transform into a terrifying monster, wriggling madly and attacking from all directions. It was all-encompassing, covering the sky and covering the earth. It wanted to swallow Xia Ping in an instant. Every inch of the soil seemed to contain swamp runes and hellish runes. They were unfathomable and connected to the power of the source. Once swallowed by the swamp, there would be no bones left. Hellfire Crucible. Xia Ping was expressionless. He formed a seal with both hands, and countless flames gathered in the void. Thousands of hellish golden crow runes surged out from his body, quickly forming a huge hellfire crucible. Countless hellish runes appeared on the surface of the hellfire crucible, forming scriptures of hell. They emitted a grand, noble, ancient, chaotic, hellish aura. As soon as it appeared, it had the aura of refining hell, burning the universe, and suppressing the void. Rumble. Everything within a radius of thousands of kilometers was filled with flames. Every inch of soil was burned, and all the water evaporated, turning into nothingness. The swamp demons didn't know what was happening. Their bodies were pierced by the flames, and they were quickly burned to ashes by the power of the hellish golden crow flames. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of thousands of demons were burned alive. At this moment, Xia Ping's entire body was burning. Everything within a radius of dozens of kilometers was filled with flames. He was thousands of meters tall, like a flaming giant. Any demon that dared to get close would be killed by the omnipresent flames before they could even take a few steps. In fact, all the swamps along the way were evaporated, turning into dry land. The soil was burned into bricks, and the bricks were burned into gravel. It was a barren land. What kind of monster is this? Is this still a burning demon? How can it be so terrifying? Some swamp demons were so scared that they pissed themselves. They could feel the omnipresent flames in the void. It was as if the slightest bit of the power of the flames would completely ignite their bodies and souls. It was like fire meeting oil. There was a natural suppressive effect. It had seen many burning demons before, but it had never seen one as terrifying as this. This was a natural ruler of fire, like a fire god that had walked out of the depths of hell. Quick run. We're no match for this burning demon. Inform the Lord Commander. Only the Lord Commander can deal with this terrifying burning devil. Monster. This is a monster through and through. We can't fight it. Retreat. If you don't want to die, retreat. The swamp demons completely collapsed, fleeing for their lives. The entire Earth Fiend Swamp Grand formation was pierced by the power of the flames. Chapter 2079. Oh my God, our leader is too strong. Even the 9 commanders of Rock City are nothing compared to him. He actually broke through this Earth Terminus swamp formation alone. Some of the Burning Legion's demons were completely convinced. They originally thought they were dead for sure and would be buried in this formation. However, who would have thought that the Burning Demon Commander before them would be this terrifying? He had single-handedly broken through the entire formation, slaughtering the marsh demons to the point where not a single one of them was left alive, forcing them to flee like rats. Not only are the commanders not as strong as our leader, even the Rock Overlord can't compare to him. A demon said, "Impossible, this is too ridiculous. The Rock Overlord is an immortal rank demon. No matter how strong our leader is, he can't compare to the Rock Overlord." Many demons shook their heads. They felt that Xia Ping's strength was still a long way from reaching the immortal rank. After all, it was an immortal rank demon, a terrifying existence that stood at the peak of countless demons in hell. How could it be so easy to compare with him? But no matter what, our leader's strength is clear. That's right. What are we waiting for here? Follow our leader and kill all these swamp demons. Right? Beat them when they're down. Kill all these swamp demons. The Burning Legion's demons were all excited. They attacked in all directions, killing all the escaping swamp demons. Dong dong dong. Xia Ping attacked alone. He summoned his Hellfire Crucible and burned all the swamp demons that got close. They were burned to death, refined, and refined into soul crystals. He felt that the more he killed, the stronger the Hellfire Crucible became. It was as if it could absorb the flesh and soul energy of these demons to strengthen the Hellfire Crucible. Vaguely, after these swamp demons died, a bit of their true spirit would fuse into the Hellfire Crucible, constantly strengthening the Hellfire Crucible's power and becoming even more terrifying. In fact, this was the terrifying part of the infernal Golden Crow's divine ability, Hellfire Crucible. It had extremely high growth potential. It could kill countless demons and absorb their bloodline power and soul energy, making the Hellfire Crucible stronger and stronger. If it could grow to its peak, it could gather the power of countless demons from hell and refine everything. Even gods and devils could be easily refined. At the same time, the infernal Golden Crow cells in his body were awakening one by one. He could feel his power increasing bit by bit. It was as if he was absorbing the power of these demons to strengthen his body. Damned burning demons. Stop it. Stop this burning devil immediately. Don't let it get close to the mountain range. Damn it. Die, burning devil. This is not a place you can come to. Let's go all out. Let's take it down with us. Self-destruct. Seeing Xia Ping charging over, the swamp demons seemed to have gone crazy. In order to stop Xia Ping from advancing, they didn't fear death. Some even self-detonated their bodies, creating a terrifying shockwave as they tried to take Xia Ping down with them. Is the Netherstone mine here? Xia Ping ignored the prawn soldiers and crab generals around him. After all, these demons would be burned to death by the Golden Crow hell flames the moment they got near him. He would be reduced to ashes in an instant. If it was a demon self-destructing, the impact force would be less than 3 meters away, and it would be swallowed up by the Dark North body protection technique. No matter how these swamp demons tried to stop him, it was useless. They couldn't stop him. His main purpose now was to enter the deepest part of the Yellow Soil mountain range and snatch a lot of nether stones to further evolve the Golden Crow hell bloodline in his body. There was no need to continue to be involved with these small characters. And he was also very curious now. These swamp demons seemed to be worried that he was approaching the depths of the mountain range, and all of them were trying to stop him. Even so far, he hadn't seen many high-level generals of the Swamp Legion. It seemed that they were not at the forefront, but staying in the deepest part of the mountain range. Interesting. Are these swamp demons plotting something? Found it. The netherstone mine is just ahead. Soon, Xiaoping sensed a burst of strong netherstone aura coming from the depths of the mountain range. It was extremely pure hell energy. It seemed that a little breath could fill the body with energy. Without saying a word, his figure flashed, and with a bang, the flames on his body immediately melted the layers of defensive enchantment in front of him. He penetrated a mountain wall and directly entered the deepest part of the mountain range. After entering the mountain range, Xiaoping's pupils shrank when he saw the scene in front of him. He was shocked to see a huge open space in front of him and was surrounded by nether stones. But these nether stones weren't the most important thing. Instead, there was a huge and mysterious altar in the middle of this open space. As for the altar, there seemed to be a tyrannical magic treasure standing in the middle. It was a stick, white and flawless, without any impurities. It seemed to be made of bone, but he didn't know what kind of bone it was. It had a trace of indestructibility. The inside of this stick seemed to contain the mysterious power of hell. From time to time, hell scriptures would appear. Indistinctly, the void around him emitted ghostly wails and wolf howls. Hell, magic treasure, morning stick. With a sudden inspiration, Xiaoping suddenly woke up. A series of information instinctively gushed out from the depths of his sea of consciousness. This was a magic treasure of hell that was as famous as the Hell Spear, Morning Stick. It was also one of the weapons of the Hell's prison guards. When the stick struck down, even gods and ghosts would be shocked. At this moment, this Morning Stick was completely sealed by the restrictive array on the altar. No one could easily approach it, as if to prevent this magic treasure from coming out. And the other demon generals of the Swamp Legion, including the Commander Green Frog Demon, had all appeared at this place. They were urgently breaking the restrictive array on the altar, trying to take out the magic treasure in front of them. So that's how it is. Xiaoping suddenly came to a realization. No wonder these demon generals didn't appear in front of the array. They were all gathered at this place to break the restrictive array on the altar. Compared to this famous magic treasure of hell, these nether stones were nothing. As long as this magic treasure was snatched, the power of the swamp overlord would skyrocket and advance by leaps and bounds. It was not impossible for him to become the strongest overlord of the fiery hell. Damn it, why did a burning demon come to this place? Didn't they say that this is the crucial moment to break the restrictive array here and no demons are allowed to come in? The Commander Green Frog Demon cursed. He was very dissatisfied. Commander, this is the commander of the Burning Legion under the Rock Overlord's banner, Burning Demon. This bastard killed all our brothers before he broke in. A demon soldier shouted, Commander, please avenge us. Chapter 2080. Bastard, how dare you kill soldiers of my swamp army? Burn demon die. Hearing this, the leader Green Frog Demon was furious and attacked immediately. Its outer appearance was that of a giant frog. It was 8 meters tall, and its body was dark green. There were many hell runes on its skin, wriggling like earthworms, and it gave off a terrifying demonic aura. Don't be fooled by its harmless appearance. But to become the leader of the swamp army and stand above countless demons, one could imagine how terrifying it was. Goo Goo, the green frog demon, laid on the ground with its cheeks puffed up. Like a whale swallowing, it swallowed the demonic energy in the surroundings and poured it into its body. Its stomach also expanded rapidly. It's over. This burning demon is finished. How dare he anger the leader? He really doesn't know what's good for him. Where did this burning demon come from? He actually dared to come here alone. He's asking for death. That's right. With the leader's strength, even the strongest leader of Rock City is no match for him. This little burning demon is nothing. With one roar, this burning demon will probably turn to ashes. Ignore it. We should hurry and break the formations here. This is the famous weapon of hell, the Morning Rod. Once we get it, our swamp city will definitely become the strongest force in flaming hell. Yeah, I didn't expect to find the legendary hell weapon here. Even the heavens are helping us. Even the god of the underworld is taking care of us. Many demon leaders looked at the burning demon pitifully. They felt that this kid really didn't know how to write the word death. He actually dared to face the famous green frog demon alone. Who didn't know of the green frog demon's fame in the fiery hell? A single roar could shake the heavens and earth, enough to kill countless demons and slaughter countless people. A mere ordinary burning fiend could be destroyed in an instant, leaving not even a corpse behind. Infinite incantation, darkness of sun and moon, sound of heaven and earth. At that moment, the green frog demon released a loud roar. That was an endless sound wave. With its body as the center, it created waves of air that formed terrifying sound waves that could destroy heaven and earth. For a moment, ghostly wails and wolf howls could be heard. It was as if the entire yellow Earth Mountain range was shaking. Even an earthquake with a magnitude of more than 10 could not be compared to this. Even the void was rippling. Even the Iksha army and the other demons thousands of miles away heard this voice. Their expressions changed drastically. They all knew that the frog demon was enraged. His voice reverberated. Waves of sound waves assaulted them, causing their primordial spirits to tremble as if they were about to shatter. The sound waves rolled over, seeming to sweep through the 9 heavens and 10 worlds, sweeping through everything in their path. What bullish asterisk T sound wave divine ability? It's all useless. Break for me. Xiaoping could not be bothered to continue playing with these fiendish demons. He wanted to annihilate all these fiendish demons in one fell swoop and plunder all the underworld stones here. Infernal golden crow claw. He struck out with his claw, and the power of the golden crow of hell's bloodline surged out. Countless golden crow of hell's runes gathered and condensed into a dark golden claw. This claw could simply break through the eternity, pierce through the void, and destroy the world. The sun and moon lost their light, and the stars fell from the sky. The surrounding air was broken, turning this place into a vacuum zone. In the depths of the void, there seemed to be a golden crow of hell appearing. It covered the sky, sweeping everything in its path, and even ghosts and gods could not escape. It was as if the god of the underworld had descended and a great calamity was about to befall them. Dong! With just one strike, all the sound waves in the surroundings were completely broken. The entire world was collapsing, as if doomsday had arrived. No matter what kind of divine ability, secret technique, magic power, or magic treasure, they were all useless under this claw. It was impossible to escape from this calamity. What's going on? This claw actually felt the god of the underworld descending, the appearance of an immortal demon, and the birth of the ruler of hell. It was as if I saw a trace of the origin of hell. What is the origin of this burning devil? How could he use such a peerless divine ability? The green frog demon was scared half to death. He seemed to have seen the true essence of hell's power in this claw. It represented the yellow springs, the ultimate of gods and devils. That was a supreme realm that far exceeded his imagination. Even the swamp overlord couldn't compare to the existence behind this move. It couldn't even be compared to a speck of dust. Spare me. Spare my life. I'm willing to become your slave. Let me go. The green frog demon's hair stood up. He felt the deathly aura coming from this claw, and he hurriedly begged for mercy, hoping that this extremely terrifying burning devil would spare him. Bang! However, it had only just finished speaking when the claw arrived. It let out a miserable shriek as its entire body was torn apart into 8 or 10 pieces. His eyes were wide open, revealing unwillingness, regret, resentment, anger, and many other emotions. He didn't think he would die like this. He was killed by a single claw. But this claw wasn't over yet. It swept through everything in its path and attacked the demons on the altar. It carried the aura of Vairocana, like a demonic sun descending, killing everything. Bang, bang, bang. In an instant, the demons didn't know what happened. Their entire bodies were hit by this claw and immediately shattered into pieces. They couldn't even resist for a second. No, what is going on? I was just breaking the seal on the altar. How did I get killed? I couldn't even block it for a second. Impossible. A demon let out a blood-curdling scream before it died. It was extremely unwilling. He was a demon general that reached the lightning trial realm. He was just one step away from the immortal intent realm, and he had the chance to become an overlord-level demon. But before he even took a step towards his dream, he was killed. He was unwilling. Burning devil, if you kill me, the swamp overlord won't let you go. He definitely won't let you go. This is the treasure of the swamp overlord. Everything belongs to him. If you dare to kill us, even if you hide in the deepest part of the flaming hell, the overlord will catch you and tear you to pieces. Burning devil, you're dead. You're dead. I'll wait for you in the deepest part of the Yellow Springs. Many swamp demons let out shrill screams before they died, cursing Xia Ping viciously. Rumble a few seconds later, the screams came to an abrupt end. They were all crushed into powder by the claw. A huge, dark golden claw mark appeared on the ground, emitting the aura of a ruler, hell, inauspicious, death, and many other things. Even the restrictive spell formations of the sacrificial altar, which the swamp demons had spent days trying to break, were torn apart by the claw, cleanly broken. The morning staff appeared in front of Xia Ping, emitting an evil, creepy, and terrifying aura. It was as if this place had turned into a boundless ghost realm, with countless evil ghosts wailing and howling. Chapter 2081. Whoosh! As soon as the Yiksha general finished speaking, Xia Ping waved his hand and a head fell from the sky. It rolled on the ground like a football. That head was the head of the green frog demon. As soon as it appeared, it emitted endless murderous energy. Although Xia Ping killed the green frog demon with one claw and smashed its body into pieces, there were still many body parts left, including its head. Many of the fiendish demons sucked in a breath of cold air. They could not believe their eyes, especially the Yiksha demons. They had fought with the Swamp Legion countless times and naturally recognized the true identity of the head. Impossible. This is the head of the green frog demon. It's dead. That's right. This is indeed the green frog demon. I've fought it countless times. I can recognize it, even if it turns into ashes. Yi Shursin stared at the head on the ground. To be honest, he didn't know how many times he had fought with the green frog demon. He had always wanted to kill the green frog demon, but he never succeeded. He was even at a disadvantage many times. But now, the green frog demon was dead. Its head was cut off. How is it? Even a green frog demon was killed by me. Does this prove my contribution? Xia Ping stood with his hands behind his back. Impossible. A Yiksha general jumped out. He still couldn't believe it. The green frog demon is so strong. It's one of the strongest demons below the lords. How can you, a burning demon, be a match for it? What trick did you use? It's not a trick. I found a prison guard's weapon and used it to kill it. Xia Ping waved his hand, and a white morning stick appeared in his hand. As soon as the morning cudgel appeared, it emitted an eerie aura. It was as if the entire area had turned into a boundless ghost domain, causing countless demons to shiver in fear. The entire mountain range was shaking, and ghosts were wailing and wolves were howling. Oh my God, this is the Hell Prison Guard's weapon. The morning stick? It can't be. I thought that this kind of weapon was just a legend and had long disappeared in the long river of history. I can't believe it still exists. It definitely lives up to its reputation as a prison guard's weapon. It's so powerful. I can even sense an aura of deathlessness coming from it. With this weapon, I can communicate with the essence of hell and sweep away everything in my path. No wonder he could kill off the green frog demon. With this magic treasure, not even the green frog demon would be a match for him. Many Yikshas were shocked. They now completely believed Xia Ping's words. With this weapon in hand, killing the green frog demons would be as easy as killing dogs. What do you think? Xia Ping raised his eyebrows. Now I can prove my contribution. What else can you say? Not yet. One of the Yiksha generals waved his hand. If you say that it's a morning stick, then it's true. It's not like we haven't seen fake weapons in this world. How about this? You hand over this weapon to us, and we'll examine it carefully to see if it's really that powerful. Once the inspection is complete, your contribution will be confirmed, and this weapon will be returned to you. He looked at Xia Ping sinisterly, plotting something. Clearly, he wanted to take this chance to snatch this magic treasure. How could they let such a powerful magic treasure fall into the hands of a puny burning demon? It should be in the hands of their Yiksha army. Not bad. This is a good idea. Knight 13 was very satisfied. He also felt that this was a very good idea. After all, this was the legendary weapon of the Hell Prison Guard. Even an immortal rank overlord could not possess it. It was simply a legendary magic treasure with boundless power. It was rumored that demons who possessed these weapons could become the new rulers of hell and become gods and demons. Hence, they would be struck by lightning if they let go of such a magic treasure. How about this? Hand over this magic treasure to us. This will prove your contribution, Knight 13 immediately said. Yishur-san immediately said, once you prove it, you will immediately receive 1,000,000 underworld stones and be promoted 1 rank. You will be able to command an army, a mansion, 3,000 demon death warriors, and even the Burning Legion will be promoted 1 rank. He listed out a series of benefits, hoping that Xiaoping would hand over the magic treasure morning stick. Idiot! Xiaoping cast a sidelong glance at him and lightly said 2 words. What? What did you say? Say it again if you have the guts. Knight 13 jumped up and shouted angrily. He stared at Xiaoping and said, I gave you face, but you don't want it? Do you think you can be arrogant just because you defeated the Swamp Legion and killed the Green Frog Demon? Let me tell you, just based on what you said, you dare to humiliate your superior in public, offend your superior, and insult the commander. This is a great crime. Your crime is unforgivable, and your death will not be regretted. Any contribution will be useless. He released a violent, murderous aura and was unable to restrain his anger. Insulting the commander and offending your superior. You should be executed. The many Yiksha generals shouted angrily and were extremely excited. They finally got hold of this guy's weakness and could put this damned burning demon to death. Kill him. Knight 13 shouted angrily and gave the order to kill. He had already shed all pretense of cordiality and did not care about any rules. In fact, this Hell Prison Guard's weapon, Morning Stick, was enough to tear apart any rules. If the overlords knew about this, they would not hesitate to start a war between overlords. Whoosh! As soon as he finished speaking, the surrounding Yiksha generals all appeared. They held steel pitchforks and looked fierce. The wings on their backs flapped, and they attacked with lightning speed. Whoosh! 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 In an instant, a black light shot out. The surrounding void was filled with a terrifying, murderous aura. It covered the sky and sealed the void, leaving almost no space for Xiaoping to escape. What bullish asterisk T is this? All of you scram. Xiaoping held the morning stick in his hand and lightly hit the void. Rumble! Suddenly, a series of ripples appeared in the depths of the void. There were terrifying waves and ghostly wails and wolf howls. It was as if the whole world was crying. Countless gods and demons were crying, and the sky was raining blood. The Yiksha generals did not know what was happening and were immediately hit by this power. It penetrated their bodies' defenses and directly bombarded the depths of their souls. They all let out miserable screams. With a few bangs, their heads were immediately smashed like watermelons exploding. They split into pieces and turned into meat paste. Even their souls were shattered. This was the terrifying power of the Morning Stick. With a swing of the stick, heaven and earth shook, the universe cried, and ghosts and gods were shocked. Yi-13 and the other Yiksha demons were shocked and angry. This burning demon was so bold that he even dared to kill the Yiksha army's soldiers and generals. He was too arrogant. Yi-13, Xiaoping said lightly, I can kill a green frog demon as easily as killing a dog. You useless chickens and pottery dogs, who knows where you came from, want to force me to hand over my magical weapon, the morning staff? Have you weighed your own weight?